Humans were never good at getting along with one another. Everyone knew fighting would always be a present thing, but none of us expected the world leaders to actually launch nukes and destroy the planet. And this is what we're left with, the world of Fallout. I just played 100% of Fallout 4, a journey that has taken me over 3 weeks to complete, over 52 hours of playing alone, and hundreds of hours to complete this movie. I'm surviving in a world that's plagued with radiation. It has affected all forms of life, and it's permanently changed people, like ghouls, who are basically the zombies of Fallout, or super mutants, who are basically failed Captain Americas due to a human evolution virus. There's literal thousands of items to loot, and we can build bases. In the beginning, we're hunting after our son, who was kidnapped from us, but then our story evolves into us ruling the lands, or helping others out to protect their island. There's so many stories and personalities to get to know and love in this game, and all of it will be incredibly important for me to unlock all 84 achievements. It's been an incredible journey, and your support on this video would mean the world to me. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, just subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Bethesda Game Studios presents Fallout 4. Hey Dave, a soldier is running on the beaches, probably having a jolly old time. We learned that America won World War II, however in this universe, people were smart. They used nuclear energy. They had fusion-powered cars, personal robots, computers on their wrist, but it couldn't stay nice forever. In the 21st century, fights and wars began to break out for resources. Times become tough, and war happened again. Our species is just too addicted to it, so we returned to fighting, and just like what our grandparents learned,
It's that war never changes.
I awoke into my bathroom and my wife came up behind me like a pervert. No privacy. I never really cared too much to change how my character looks in games. You always cover them in armor anyway, so I just went with the basics. I looked around the house, really cute and quaint for the 50s. I honestly like it here. Our baby started to cry and the clanker went over to tend to him. While that was going on, I waited for Voltsec to come to the door and he called me beautiful. Said I'm so smart and amazing. He even begged for an autograph, so I wrote Skies and chose 4 for all of my traits. I think a good baseline character for the beginning of this game is good. Anyways, we got accepted into Vault 111 for my family's service in the war. A good peace of mind just in case nukes go off around the world and we need a place to survive. But that's unlikely. If nukes would ever go off, everyone understands how dangerous they are.
Confirmed reports, I repeat, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York and Pennsylvania. My God.
Oh, they're going off right now and we need to run to the vaults. Given how dire the situation is, we went for a light jog and reached some checkpoint. The fanboy who was confirming my family and I going into Vault 111 was there. He got denied and ran away, Lamau, and our fate was better than his. We got accepted. We ran to the elevator and watched the beautiful sunset before some stupid mushroom ruined it, and now we had to go underground insanely fast. Downstairs, we were welcomed by some employees and it wasn't creepy at all. Everyone was super happy and helpful. Didn't give cult vibes at all. I got this vault suit and followed a doctor to some medical machines. Only thing, these weren't medical machines. He lied to us. I got into my own cryopod and my wife and baby got into a separate one. We fell into a deep sleep. Possible minutes went by.
One eternity later.
And we were awoken by the scariest thing ever, a bald man. They opened my wife's pod and asked very politely for our child, Sean. She listened to them and handed him over willingly. Luckily, nothing else happened. Baldy wanted to make sure we knew he was bald, and they walked off after turning on our cryopods again.
Much later.
I woke up sometime later, maybe several minutes more later, and I ran to my wife's pod. I opened it up, stole her wedding ring, and allowed her to sleep some more. The cold makes people sleepy, so I figured she was just out of it and needed more rest. Now, to leave the vault. I wanted to make sure I'm not leaving anything important behind. So, I went and checked out every single cryopod. To my surprise, you can't open any of them. Reading on a terminal, I found out a good majority of the people here died from asphyxiation. It's, a lack of oxygen. All of the important machines around here went offline for some reason. Anyways, I left the room, saw this cute little bug that I know we'd all love to hug, and then found the cafeteria. Inside, I found another terminal, saw a game is in it, and played it. The Red Menace. Played it a bit, but I got our first achievement. Future Retro for playing a holotape game. 1 of 84 done. I stole the game and continued looting the vaults. I did some police tactics on the rat roaches and then came upon the overseer's office. Got me a gun. Some healing items. I'm just looting a ton. I saw this cool gun. Walked away, and I'm sure I'll never come back for it. I opened the door and got to shooting the rad roaches out here. Walking forward, I found the entrance to this place, or exit, it depends on how you see it, and got our Pip-Boy. I opened up the vault door, shocked my character knew how to do it, and returned to the surface. I found out you can shoot the birds, to kind of surprise myself there, and then looted the area. I tried to see if I can make the elevator go back down. Apparently, you cannot, and went down the hill. Immediately got to looting, and then I saw our old clinker butler. Talking to him, he's surprised. I tell him that my wife is dead and that my son was stolen from me. Then, Codsworth tells me that, it's been a while, like 210 years since we left the house, so apparently it has not been a few minutes in those cryopods. I also learned that he's been going insane because he hasn't had anyone to serve in all these years. He tried his best to keep the house clean and then insists that we look around the neighborhood for our wife and child. Apparently, he didn't hear me say what happened to them. Before heading off in search of them, he gave me a holotape that my wife left for me. Listening to it, I think it's just for psychological torture, as it's such a depressing thing to listen to, knowing that they're both gone. While I was making my character depressed, I got to looting. I went around the homes here and then went to catch up with Codsworth. Oh, never mind. He did hear me say that she's dead, but not all was lost, as my son is still out there. Codsworth told me how he went to some place and only got beaten with wooden sticks. He said to go to Concord, where my son could be, or clues about him, to go and clean up the neighborhood. Yeah, before heading out, I want to clean up the entire town, make it spotless, collect some resources. I hate these fences, by the way. Oh my goodness. Oh my, they are such a pain to remove. Just such a mundane task. But to make it more fun, a rad storm came by. I was worried at first, but then remembered I'm playing Fallout 4, not 76 or Stalker 2, so I was fine. I took a hot minute, but I cleaned up the entire neighborhood and then made a little bedroom for me. Got this nice bed, 2 dressers so I can store collectibles and special clothing stuff. And now, after a long and hard grinding session of spamming R and then E, we're finally off to play the game. I saw this dead guy and his dog. I looted him and threw him into the river. I don't want people to think a crazy person lives here. Except for the dog. Apparently I'm too weak to move it. Down the road, I arrived to the Red Rocket and met this dog. I didn't shoot it, and instead, I got our first companion, beginning the journey to unlocking the companion achievement. I looted the building, and apparently, the owners didn't like that. So, I had to shoot all 4. They were poor, so that sucks. But what doesn't suck is reaching level 2. But for some reason, I couldn't level up. I don't know if I need to sleep or hit a specific level to start leveling up things, or if I'm just too used to New Vegas, but yeah, was confused there. I made it to Concord and looted a house. Then I heard some gunshots. Making my way to O Block, I helped out this dude in a church shooting some bandits and then got to looting. He noticed my skills, as I'm literally John Fallout 4, and told me to pick up the rifle on the ground and come inside to help kill the bandits coming for him and some settlers. So I got to shooting. I went pew pew and killed both of these guys. Found this terminal that took me a bit to hack, but I unlocked this door and I looted this fusion core. I'm sure the building doesn't need it. I then fought my way upstairs and met with a guy who was yelling at me from the balcony to come help them. He tells me how their group used to have 20 members, but it's dwindling very low in numbers from ghouls and other enemies. They have a plan to get out of here and need help. Luckily, I already got the fusion core that's needed. I now just need to get onto the roof and power up this old power armor and help them get out of the town. But first, I looted the Perception Bobblehead off of this desk. It's one of 20 that I need to collect for an achievement. And then I talked to this old psychic lady. She can see the future apparently, and warned of a monster coming. I'm sure it's nothing though. I went up to the roof, got the power armor and this minigun. I just sniped this booger on the other roof and then was taunted to come down and fight. I mean, it's just weird. Like me personally, I wouldn't taunt someone wearing a 1-ton power armor with a minigun while I'm wearing regular clothes with a dinky gun, but that didn't stop them. I killed all of the raiders and then this little ray of sunshine popped out of the sewers. I'll call him Pennywise, or Deadwise. I'm sorry. So, yeah, with the Deathclaw dead, I returned to the settlers, chatted it up, and now they're going to come live with me in my settlement. The old psychic lady also told me that my son is alive, and I should head to a place called Diamond City, the largest settlement out there. I then teleported back home, left my power armor here, as I don't really like to use it too much, and then went to sleep for 24 hours. Didn't feel like waiting for them to arrive here. Upon waking up, it was a beautiful foggy afternoon. Talked to Preston, and he told me to go help out some settlement. Something about enemies there or something. The cooler part is that I unlocked the 3rd achievement, When Freedom Calls. Oh, and I'm level 4 now. But I finally figured out how to level up in this game. It's very different from New Vegas. I had 3 skill points to spend. Hopefully, I spent them well. But I did hear that there's no level cap, so I should be able to get everything that's important. After that, I went to Sturgis to work on his side quest. It's basically just getting Sanctuary, this settlement started and well-rounded. First, I had to go set up some water pumps. I made these 6 and powered them up. Went back to Sturgis. Up next, food. I started to place down some more of these wild vegetables, and then I leveled up to level 5, unlocking the 4th achievement. Once the food was all placed, all I had to do was place down some turrets, which was my first plan. Except, I ran out of oil, so I could only place down 1 turret right here, which honestly won't help them out much with raiders, but it counted. And with that, I finished the side quest, which also unlocked an achievement for me. The 5th one, Sanctuary. Now, to move out. I'm heading over to 10 Pines Bluff. There's someone over there, possible settlers that I need to help out, and we need to see what they need. I fought a little bit and made it there to a gun being shoved in my face. It really made me want to help them out. Turns out the Minutemen disbanded in the past. Bad things began to happen, but the Minutemen are now back. And this group right here needs help with some raiders who won't leave them alone. Sounds like a fun time to me. So I teleported back to Concord. I'm trying to find a specific billboard for an achievement. You'll see in a little bit. And began to run south. Really fast, if you guys are enjoying this movie, it genuinely means a lot to me if you'd click the subscribe button if you haven't already. These take an insanely long time to make, and it's only possible to make more if you subscribe. Thank you very much. So I made it to this little diner place, and someone named Wolfgang, yet again, shoved a gun in my face. I already want to kill him. I persuaded him to lower it. He did, and told me he needs help getting the girl inside to pay him for something. Something about a drink or I don't know. I went inside, talked to her. Trinity said she's not paying, and it sounds like Wolfgang is a scam artist. Also, he shoved a gun in my face, so I didn't want to help him out. I swapped sides and helped out Trudy, killing Wolfgang and got 100 caps out of it. I then sold some stuff to her and back to the road we go. Now, about that specific billboard. I made my way into Lexington. I found the Red Rocket Diner store place thing, then went left. I found the old statue with a guy holding a gun, went past him to this billboard. There's a raider in power armor that has a Fat Man launcher. Basically, shoots a nuke at you. I shot at his turret to make him all angry, and he fired at me, getting me my achievement number 6. Touchdown. Now for the fun part. So a fair warning for the rest of this movie. If you're new to the channel, I love to loot. Like, a lot. I can't help it. I love to check everywhere and take all of the good items. So that's exactly what I did for this entire building. I made my way to the car factory place that the raiders are holding up in. Instead of heading inside immediately to kill their boss, I went around the side and I'm working my way up the exterior for a bobblehead. All was going well till I was about to jump from these stairs onto this bridge thing. Yeah, I heard someone behind me, and as I was in the jump, I turned around to see if I can make it back up to kill them. Went super well for me. So the next life, I made my way up top. I killed some raiders, got good loot, and at the very top of this entire place, around the blue dome, I got the repair bobblehead. Lovely. Then I made my way back down onto this roof and headed in through this latch. Inside, here's the TLDR. Lots of fighting. Like, a lot. Codsworth helped out a bit. He's a good distraction. Got so much loot, leveled up a bit, and it took me a while, but I finally found the room where the boss was hiding. I think his name is Jared, hopefully no ties to Subway, and killed him, completing this part of the quest. I fought my way out of the place to this beautiful sky. Just love what they did with the place. Then I teleported back to 10 Pines and finished the quest. She was happy with me and told me they'd help out the Minutemen if we ever need it. Then I took a nap. I returned to Sanctuary. I talked to Preston, and he told me the history of the Minutemen and how they ended. They apparently had some betrayals and fighting inside of the group that ended up with everyone but Preston dead or leaving. Then I agreed to joining the Minutemen, and now I'm its general, unlocking the 7th achievement, the first step. Then I went to the workbench, and funny enough, I just had this theory, a game theory, that if I take all of the junk from the workbench and put it back, it'll count as adding more junk. It did, unlocking the 8th achievement, scaver. Then, to continue the silliness, I found that I can make these burritos, whatever that means. Basically, a dresser with a bookshelf on top. I spammed the crap out of that since it just takes wood, and I got the 9th achievement, Fixer Upper. Now, you also gain experience for crafting stuff like this, and I'm only level 7. I want to be level 10 for that achievement, just to get us a bit stronger to level up our stats. So, I got to spamming. I placed down hundreds of these things and got to level 10, unlocking the 10th achievement. Commonwealth Citizen. Funny enough, it seriously took me 6 minutes to unlock these 4 achievements. But don't worry, I won't be unlocking achievements this fast ever again. Now, to continue the Minutemen questline, I need to do something called Radiant Quest. They're random quests from people just to go and do just like random little side quest things. Like they're not important whatsoever, normally. So Preston actually gave me one before. I need to go to some Starlight Diner place thing. Sorry, I forgot the name. But I need to head there and clear it out of enemies. So I teleported to the diner where I killed Wolfgang and ran over. Inside of this place, lots of mole rats. I said hi to them all with Codsworth and cleared the place out. Then lockpicked this door and found the workbench for this place. Now, to turn it into a settlement. And by that, I just went around and destroyed everything. I spent like 10 minutes trying to find out how to place down a recruitment radio beacon thing. That took forever. God forbid they tell you where to find it. Anyways, I placed it down and the settlement was done. I placed some turrets beforehand, so any poor soul who comes here, good luck! I teleported back to Preston, told him I did an amazing job, and he gave me another settlement location to go to. Haven't been there before, so I teleported to that car factory place with the raiders that I just killed, and began to run to the quest marker while discovering all of the locations in front of me. Finally, making my way to the location, it's a tiny farm with 2 people there. They told me they also have a raider problem, and I was incredibly happy to help them out with killing them. Hey, trust me, okay? If that's all that you need is for me to go and kill some raiders and I get their loot and I don't have to go around and, you know, destroy everything around here and the workbench, oh, dude, trust me, I'm your guy. Trust me, I will very happily go kill them. Along the way to the raiders area, I decided to look around in this city, as it's where Diamond City is located, and I wanted to unlock more locations for fast traveling in the future. There was a few enemies here and there, but I decided to not be sidetracked anymore and left. Especially not unlocking Diamond City yet, as that would trigger a cutscene. But anyways, here's a raider's location. Codsworth took the charge and handled a good majority of the enemies, as my favorite pistol ran out of ammo, and now I gotta use this machine gun. The area was super easy. I took out the raiders, I lockpicked a few things, I'm trying to get that achievement for lockpicking 50 things, and then the final raider boss was up here. Took a bit of ammo, but we cleared out the place. Making it to the farm, the farmer was just super happy that I killed the raiders and told me they'd join the Minutemen. I then had to head back to Sanctuary, got situated, and talked to Preston. He was happy about that place joining us, but said it's time. As we were having issues with raiders blocking our comms or something, we should go to some giant radio station place and kill the raiders there and take it back for the Minutemen. It'd be a good spot for us to have as our HQ, so we can blast out to the Commonwealth that the Minutemen are back and that we're here to save the day. But that'll be for another time. We have some Brotherhood of Steel to go save. So I found their spot before when heading to the previous raider spot. I had to listen to this military frequency radio, basically saying that they have troops that are trapped and need help. So I did that, sort of. I went to the police station where they were held up. There was a power suit guy out front fighting some ghouls. He looked like he was struggling, can't relate, so obviously I did what every hero would do. I looted the ghouls in area while my companion, Codsworth, did the fighting for me. I talked to Dance, the guy in the power suit, and he said to meet him inside. Once I was done looting, I went inside and got to looting. That man can wait. I have valuables to steal. Once I was satisfied with all the items I took from these struggling, poor, barely surviving soldiers, I talked to Dance. He said he needed help as I'm John Fallout 4. He needs a big, strong, smart, cunning, brave, intelligent, sexy, down-to-earth, humble guy. So obviously, I signed Codsworth up to go help him out. They need some long-range radio device helper thing. So the Brotherhood of Steel guys can contact their HQ for help. And there's apparently a device like that in a radio station nearby. So we headed out. I kept on looting everything and basically let them do the fighting, as I suck with aiming with these unmodded weapons, especially this hunting rifle. I love this weapon a ton, but desperately need to mod it. After fighting our way down the road, we made it to the radio station. Was honestly weirdly close by. I'm not sure why it took them so long to do this mission, and I had to to go inside first because Dance was feeling a little shy and anxious. Inside, you'll never guess this, I got to looting. They handled the fights and I handled the thick thighs, strong back, massive backpack job of taking everything in here and carrying it. To cut it short, we just did a lot of fighting. We were working our way upstairs and then we made it to a spot where we needed the elevator to open and bring us up to the room where the radio device is. But the power is out. So I had to go through this tunnel to this computer to turn on the power. Oh, I just realized I never mentioned the enemies. They're apparently synths, like fake human robots, but they're pretending to be humans. There's a ton of them and they're quite deadly. Well, when I turned the power on, they rushed Dance. Seemed like he was struggling and I didn't want to use my ammo. So I did what any sane person would. I turned on the rocket jet right above him and burnt everyone to a crisp. But not to worry, he seemed to have survived it somehow due to his armor. And, like a good neighbor, I was not there for him. I actually looted everyone first and then checked on him. He seemed okay and not too angry about being burnt. Weird. We took the elevator up. Might surprise you, but there was more synths up there. I helped kill some for once and then got to looting. Dan said the radio device wasn't where it was supposed to be and that one of the synths had to have it. He told me to look around for it, but I'm a god tier looter. I found it as he finished his sentence. After that, I looted more, got into the elevator, and went to the surface with everyone. Outside of the building, Nance was impressed with my fighting skills, for some reason. Said I kept cool inside and that I should join the Brotherhood of Steel. He gave me a gun for helping out with this mission, and I said yes to joining the Brotherhood of Steel. Me too for an achievement. And now he wants to meet me back at the police station for some more missions. Or possibly wants to make love to this vehicle as he's smoldering it? I'll let him have some alone time and went back to the police station. The girl was chill and smart about me joining, and Butthead over here was all grumpy wumpy about it. I got accepted in, and Dance gave me the 11th achievement, Semper Invicta. The next achievement I'm going for is to do with some robot DLC, but I need to be level 15 for it. I believe there's no other achievements with this Brotherhood group for right now, so I didn't care to continue down the quest line. I planned on doing a miscellaneous quest. I had to go back to our new settlement spot at the movie diner and help with some raiders raid going on. I guess my turrets are really good, as I didn't even get to help. But while being here, I decided to help out the settlement a little bit and place down some beds outside so the bugs can eat the people here, and then planted some water. Didn't have food, so they can just have some ice cube sandwiches for dinner. Seeing how there was nothing else to do, and I need more experience, I went back to the Brotherhood police station and talked to Grumpy Wumpy. Turns out, he has a lot of cake. Like a super fat touche. How can you be so hostile and angry with all that? Anyways, I got him to trust me from saying I'm using the Brotherhood to help find my son. He smiled and gave me a quest to go to the scariest place ever for half of America, a college. But I'm not learning there, I'm shooting there. Wait, luckily, the place is super close. Like 50 meters away. There were ghouls outside of the area I had to get to, and now, seeing the spot, I don't know why they call it a college, whatever. This is no school. It's an underground subway system. Inside, more ghouls. I activated this robot to see if it would come down these stairs and help out. I put too much faith into it. I actually never saw it again. No idea where it wandered off to. But there was another one down these stairs. I took out all the ghouls here too, looted the building up, and headed back outside. Making it back to the police station, Thicky Von Whitehips here told me good job. Didn't level up, and to talk to Dance for another mission. Dance then went on about how his old comrades went on a mission and disappeared. Officially, they're MIA, but he thinks something else happened, and we need to head over to the spot they were last seen at and check out what happened. I don't have any close spots to the waypoint, so we gotta do a lot of running. I came upon this tiny shack and was interested in it since it had so much radiation. Inside was a nightmare. Actually got scared there, thanks, and then looted this radiated cage and got some Radaway in caps. Genuinely, this has to be the worst way to go. Being trapped with radiation, that's actually awful. And what's worse is this maniac running by me? Apparently he's a settler, but he has dozens of radiated mole rats or whatever these are chasing him, which in turn chased me. I tried to talk to him after killing them, but he wasn't interested in talking. And then he had more of those enemies in what I'm assuming is his house. I killed those, more XP, and got back to running. I ran out of 10mm ammo again, sad face, and I decided to try out that gun Dance gave me for helping him get that radio signal extender thing. And well, butter my butt and call me Juniper, I didn't know this thing was so strong. I wiped out the super mutants here, unlocked more locations, and made it to the spot where the signal for these MIA MIA Brotherhood members are. Tons of ghouls, and this one turned into my first legendary enemy. It was kinda sick. And I helped out Codsworth with this fangirl swarming him. I got some rare pistol from the legendary ghoul and checked out the immediate area for loot. So now, all I had to do was turn on my radio to the distress signal and then play hot or cold. I found their bodies pretty quickly and easily. They were all in this explosion pit area. All of them were charred and burnt to a crisp. Guess they didn't have a good ending. I played this guy's holotape and it sounds like they were having a fight with some robots. My guess, the Sims. I then had to go to another distress signal spot to find another group of Brotherhood people. This one, oh my Dave, this one, I hate this mission. Biggest issue, the percentage hint thingy pops up way too slow to tell if you're getting closer to the distress signal device. So I'm walking around and around. Ooh, a Deathclaw. My goodness, it got close. Walking around some more and more. Weird. Why is there a guy here in a settlement right where I killed the Deathclaw? I walked around more and more. You get the point. It took me about 20 minutes to find it. The stupid signal is to this stupid door. Inside, some ghouls got some normal loot and found the spot. It was a girl who was holding out here, and I guess HQ didn't get her distress signal. So she died here, and it actually sounded like a sad ending. I feel bad for her. So I looted some more and took a different way out of the building. But honestly, it was a waste of time. Not really any good loot. Now outside, we gotta go to another spot to investigate. This one, not bad. It's a satellite disarray area, overrun with super mutants, but I don't mind. They give a lot of XP and some decent loot. So I got to shooting. I took him out fairly easily. I forgot to mention, by the way, I found this power armor back at the previous location behind a locked door, so I took it. Anyways, I killed some super mutants here and was just exploring for loot. I wanted to kill everything first and then loot for the distress signal. Funny enough, from me, looking for loot, I found the spot. Of course, we had to go to another area, but I looted the rest of this place first and then headed over to the next spot. For some reason, as I was walking through this little canyon wall spot thing, there were some dweebs pretending to be soldiers saying how they're going to join the Marines in the future and kept calling me a civvy. Real interesting stuff. So I said hi to them all and made it to this terminal. Putting in the password I found from this old senile hermit in this room and convinced him that I'm a safe person and an ally. I mentioned how all of his squad is dead, and this dude did not look well. Like, couldn't even convince him to rejoin the Brotherhood. Makes sense, he's super old and psychotic now. He's been through a lot. As a thank you for bringing him his dead comrades' holotapes, he told me I can take whatever I want as payment. So obviously, being the kind and generous guy that I am, I didn't want to take advantage of the old man, so I took every single item in his room. From there, I teleported back to dance. Don't ask why my guy is naked with armor on, and told him what happened. He gave me some caps, said I earned his respect, and I completed the side quest entirely. So now, we can go do that robot mission that I was trying to get to level 15 for. I had to run to the quest marker for this one, and upon arriving near it, lots of gunshots. This was going to be a fierce battle if I just wasn't so strong. I'm suffering for success here. There was a couple of dead humans here, and a lot of hostile robots attacking this one robot. So, I got to shooting. We took out the robots, and for the future, so I don't suffer too much, I looted every single item from the robots. It'll make sense in a few seconds if you weren't so impatient, Tiffany. My goodness. So, I got to talking to the robot we saved, and her story is actually kind of sad. She's actually sad and angry that these humans died. They were her friends, and she was trying to protect them. They kept on getting attacked by these hostile robots and tried to keep her friends safe. But there was no point. There's some angry evil robot called the Mechanist. He keeps sending them, and Ada here wants him dead. I agreed to it because I need to for an achievement. Ada also gave me the schematics for making a robot modifying workbench and something else, but I forgot what it was. Ada is also a companion, and I decided to take her instead of Codsworth just to switch things up. Now, to continue the DLC. We have to travel far, and I didn't want to do that just yet. We got other stuff we can do first. So, I teleported back to Sanctuary and placed down the robot mod workbench. I need to modify 10 robot mods to get an achievement. Modifying Ada, then making my own robot, and modifying Codsworth, I didn't reach the achievement. I need more adhesive. That's why I was looting every single robot back where I met Ada. That sucks. I need to do more looting. Now, for a very silly time. My next goal is to find the science bobblehead. There's 20 of these bobbleheads in this game, so I'm just trying to chip away at it as often as I can. I've been near the location of the science bobblehead one. All I gotta do is find the entrance to Vault 75. That was so much easier said than done. I'm not joking, Dave. This seriously took me well over 20 minutes to find the stupid basement door. Mainly because I was looking in the wrong building, but that wasn't my fault. It was all Darman's. Don't worry, he'll get a pay cut for that. After finding the freaking door to the vaults, I then got so sidetracked that it took me over 40 minutes to reach the end of this vault. I had to fight so many raiders. There was so many. I got lost in the sauce with looting all of these boxes. It was honestly a very repetitive time, so that's why we're skimming this entire section. On this desk where I found the key card to get into the next section, I got the science bobblehead. This one's actually pretty cool and incredibly useful. I now have 5 chances instead of 4 when hacking a terminal. Then I found the boss at the end, checked out the overseer's computer, and completed the side quest for Vault 75. Yippee! Oh, and I love Ada because she can carry so much weight, allowing me to loot so much more. So I got to modding Ada, gave her a terminal hacking mod thing, which I have no idea how to use it, but I hope I can figure it out. Then I worked on Codsworth and unlocked the 13th achievement, the most toys. Now that I'm level 20, I listen to the Vault 88 distress radio signal. It's another DLC and it gave me a waypoint that's super far away. We'll get to that in the future. Next up, I want to get to the explosives bobblehead, as it's close to Vault 77, the one we were just in. So I teleported back to the school, headed east, and then saw this strange UFO in the sky. I'm not sure if this is a DLC thing or something rare. To be truthful, I barely know anything about Fallout 4 and I've never once beaten the game. Highly enjoying myself while playing this game, so I'm hoping I can find out what that UFO is or does. So I made it to the Ironworks building, and boy, did it become fun fast. Tons of raiders outside of the building. I'm trying to get better at not looking at everything and looting every possible item, or else you guys will get this movie in 2077. But Ada and I took care of all of the enemies outside of the building. There were a ton. Inside, same story. Just a ton of raiders everywhere. Trying to loot important stuff, like just their bodies and quick glances around. I then made it to the door to the smelter room thing. And, this is when things got very, very interesting. I was originally talking to them all. That was until one of the raiders chasing me from the previous room came in here and shot me, pulling me out of the dialogue cutscene. So I shot them, and seeing how I can move around, I got to shooting. I died, allegedly, and then the same thing happened again. This time, I killed everyone and got the bobblehead. Nice. What wasn't nice is that one of the people in here that I killed is apparently for settlement and I need them. I reloaded back into the beginning of this room. I thought the guy I had to protect was the settler sitting on his knees in front of the molten metal bucket. I was wrong. It's the guy to his right, the one I headshotted. This time, I'm sure it'll go well, because there's literally no way I'll mess it up or else I'm not John Fallout 4. And would you look at that, Dave? I was right. I saved Jack. I believe that was his name, and he told me I should come to a settlement with him and talk to his dad about making everything right and that he's sorry for trying to join these bad guys. Hiss, hiss. All I need to do is take his father's sword from the boss here, and his dad should be happier to make things right. Only issue, the boss is in the molten metal bucket. Nice and toasty. But don't worry, the silliness doesn't end there. This robot that I hacked into and brought it out of its holding cell was just standing right there at the door, all weird. The settler I saved and Jack couldn't leave. I didn't want anything to glitch, so I killed the robot. Hopefully Ada doesn't take it personal. And then we all finally left, as Jack told me to follow him, and then he left me in the dust outside. Cool. Making it to Jack's farm, this was genuinely an awkward experience. Everyone was talking. The mom was loud while the guys were all quiet. The conversation was all over the place. It's insane how accurate Bethesda made this quest. But Jack got accepted back to the farm. The dad let me keep the sword I got back for him, totally selling it, and they joined my settlement. So now, I got 3, unlocking the 14th achievement. Community Organizer. Nice. We're not done going after bobbleheads just yet. We got another tough raider spot to take on for the 5th bobblehead, the sneak one, and I'm heading northeast to the Dunwich Borers. It's actually really close to this area. I saw this dude who died in an amazing way, just very tough. And here's the Dunwich Borers. Actually a sick place, but I don't love the amount of grenades that these guys are throwing at me. So I died and had to come back here. Now, loving the fact that I got this sniper, made it fairly easy to pick off the enemies in here, and then just unloaded on the guy in a power armor suit. From there, I just worked my way down to the ground floor, then headed inside into the mines. In here, just some raiders, nothing too crazy other than the fact that the lights are so incredibly bright in here that it can actually make it hard to see the enemies. That's dope. But then, working my way down even more, I saw these two enemies at the bottom of this giant pit. Instead of shooting, I thought, hey, why not just chuck 2 nades? And it worked out perfectly. I got this cool armor piece from the boss, and then I came upon this door. Opening it, I got some weird flashback to the old days as if I were a miner. And then the ghouls struck. Tons of ghouls, and it felt like I was in a zombie game again. It was fun. And then I remembered that I was here for the snake bobblehead, which, funny enough, was right here when I remembered that I was looking for it. Nice. Now to escape. Making it outside, there's another bobblehead very close to us, but I'll make it fast. I want to start doing quests, but since this barter bobblehead is close, it'd be dumb to not get it. Plus, it's about to help me. I ran over to the cannery. It's super close to this mining hole. I went inside the build, past the psycho worker, up the stairs, and around to the control room. I hacked a terminal. It wasn't worth it. And then down this hallway on top of a terminal is the barter bobblehead. Makes prices 5% better permanently, and I got this cool comic. And now, Dave and Dave-ettes, I don't know. It's finally time we continue on with the main quest, sort of. I ran over to Diamond City, and Piper over here is locked down. Something about the mayor not liking the story she wrote on the news about him. I tell her I want into the city, and I play along with her lie about me being a merchant with a lot of loot to sell to the city. It works. Gate opens. Right there at the door, the crooked mayor begins yelling at Piper and saying none of the stories about him are true, blah blah blah. I don't side with him. I put some pressure on him by telling him I'm looking for my son and who in the city can help me. Piper keeps calling him a pathetic mayor as he can't even have one guard come help me. It was a juicy drama time. The mayor runs away as Piper keeps grilling him, and I pass a charisma check to find out who to talk to. Nick Valentine. I entered the city, I sold and bought stuff from the doctor, finally cleared up some weight, and went to Nick's office. Inside, I'm assuming she's his wife or maybe just a business partner, I'm not sure yet. But with some charisma check passes, she tells me where Nick is and that he walked into a trap. He caught word about some gangster kidnapping a girl from here, and he went over to the location to see if it was true and to get her back. The possible wife right here knew it was a trap, but that didn't stop him. So now, I need to go rescue him. I began the jog and killed some enemies along the way, but I got to this interesting part. Dead bodies everywhere. Thought I was supposed to go into this building, but no, it's not the right spot. I'm sure this will come up later, but the scene here just looks insane. Almost as insane as this beautiful gazebo on the lake's edge. Ton of radiation here. Very strange place to be hoarding some nuclear waste. Almost like this pretty boat thing here. I know it's a boss, but I've never fought him before. But I figured that the boss was weak to grenades. And would you look at his health drop? I was correct. I believe this is the first boss I fought so far, so it was a pretty silly and fun one. He had some cool loot too. I then checked his little boathouse place, an absolute ton of nuclear waste in here too. Tried to loot fast and get out. Back to the main stuff. I found the subway system that Nick is in. I took it a bit slow, but took out all of the people. With this entire room dead, I was looking around for things to lockpick as I'm insanely close to that achievement. I found some lockpick stuff, but had to move down further. I shot the 2 guards at the vault door, surprised there's one here, and then went and opened it, and then slowly pushed my way through the vault. I looted about everything, had Ada help me hold items, lockpick some stuff, and then we made it. I saw some guy trash talking and baiting who I'm assuming is behind the glass in the overseer's office. Nick. So, I got to shooting. Luckily, there were no other gangsters down here, just Dino, or Dino. If only Italians were real, they'd tell me how to pronounce his name correctly. Now, before I unlock Nick's door, I lockpicked this case right here, and finally, I got the 15th achievement. What's yours is mine. Now I don't have to focus so hard on looking for tiny boxes to break into. I unlocked Nick's door, went inside, grabbed this speech bobblehead, lovely, and talked to Nick. I told him I'm looking for my son. He's interested in helping me out, but we should get out of here first. So, following him out, apparently you can do this stealthy? Or I'm assuming you can, as he said I guess we're going loud. Making it sound like going stealthy out of the vault is an option. But I don't mind killing bad people for good loot. So, we kept on shooting. We fought our way to the last door before the vault door, but Nick could hear some heavy footsteps behind it. And, would you look at that? It's the mob boss. I'm sure you could talk your way out of this, or maybe have the daughter leave the mob boss, but Apparently she's evil. She knocked out Nick, and she doesn't sound like she's willing or wanting to leave them off you. So I got to shooting. I took out the guards, shot the soul out of the daughter, and then went pew pew on the fat man's head. Nick said he'll break the news to the parents that she's dead. My bad. And we left the vaults and subway finally through this ladder. I talked to Nick, told him his secretary, not wife. So you got a chance, ladies. Told me where to find him. He then said he'll help me find my son if I come talk to him back at Diamond City. I said yes, like no duh, and I got the 16th achievement, Unlikely Valentine. By the way, I just want to say I love this character. Nick is actually sick. Almost as sick as it would be if you'd click that subscribe button if you haven't already. These movies take a long time to record and edit, and it'd help me out tremendously if you'd subscribe. Thank you very much. So, I just went over to Piper's and did a little interview with her. By doing that, she's now one of my companions, making it 4 out of 5. Just one more for the achievement. With that done, there's actually a silly achievement right here in Diamond City. Starting here is home base. If you run around like this and touch each plate, you'll get a baseball achievement, our 17th achievement, Home Run. Now, to pause the main quest that we've been working on for so long, it's time to go hunt another bobblehead, the intelligence one. So roughly around here is the Boston Library. I teleported near it and ran over. It took a while to find the front door. No idea why they're making it so hidden, but with the dead super mutant body outside, I was expecting to fight some super mutants. No, I get to fight these robots who were friendly at first and then started blasting me in the face for no reason. I was done taking it in the face, so I ran back and got to shooting them in their faces. While fighting, some super mutants rushed in. To make a long battle short, I just had to go to the far northwest side of the library, go through this door, loot this dead dude, and right there was the bobblehead. Not to make this a horror story, if any children are watching, parents, you'll want to cover their ears for this part. I had to return back to base because, well, Ada's inventory and mine were full. I couldn't loot anymore. I know, it scared me too. So, I went back home, put everything away, went to Diamond City, sold stuff, and bought an ungodly amount of ammo. I next had a difficult time trying to get the Trinity Tower radio to appear on my Pip-Boy. Once it finally did, I listened to it and got a quest. I traveled over to the Trinity Tower, and now to get our 5th companion and another bobblehead, the melee bobblehead. This tower was pretty easy heading up it. The elevators were really awkwardly long, but I found my way up top. Had a blast with my pistol as it shoots insanely fast, and then I talked to Rex and Strong. They said they were safe, so, like a sheltered child, I believed them and let them out of their cage. Inside, the melee bobblehead. Lovely. Then, honestly, a super fun part of the quest, we had to fight our way down the tower and take these elevator lifts on the side of the building. I actually enjoyed this part of the quest a lot. Then, once we made it to the bottom floor, Rex thanked me. Said he's going to a radio tower for his career, and I talked to Strong. I made him my 5th companion, and for some reason I didn't get the achievement. Okay, maybe it's because I need him to walk with me. No, that didn't work. Okay, so I figured maybe I need Piper to walk with me. So I traveled back to her, had her walk with me, and there we go. The 18th achievement, never go it alone. So remember how I killed Swan a little bit ago? Well, apparently there's an achievement for killing 5 bosses. Like giant creatures like super mutants and murlocs. Just anything big like that. Well, there's another boss near Swan. Like literally a few meters away. So I went back to Swan and I went to the Massachusetts State House. In here, once I make it to the basement and follow this red cord all the way to the terminal and unlock the escape door, the Mirelurk Queen spawns in. Even though Swan gave nice items, which I sold, I figured why not take her out? Especially since I need to do 5 of these bosses total for an achievement. Well, once I finally killed her, I was a bit stunned about how awful her loot was, and then trying to get out of this maze of a place. Took a little bit, but I finally made my way out. Was a fun little pit stop though. Now, if we head to the left to this tall looking building, the Fusion something building with gunners outside that took a weird amount of time to become hostile towards me, we can enter here and fight our way up. After several floors, I saw the 10th bobblehead for us, the strength one, which is absolutely massive for me as it'll allow me to loot even more, and I unlocked our 19th achievement. They're not dolls, but I do think we should protect them. Somewhat close by, there's another bobblehead, and this one was a tricky one. I decided to head through this raider camp. I wanted to take the fun though, also to get more kills and XP. There's an achievement for killing 300 humans and also another one for killing 300 beast monsters. I just don't want to say animals. I feel like I'm close to both of those, so I'm on the hunt for them. Just like how I'm trying to hunt down the door for this next bobblehead, the lockpicking one. And I need to find Pickman's gallery, which was so incredibly hard for me to find. It took over 10 minutes in this little tiny area. But I finally managed to find it, thankfully, and inside, it's weird. There's a ton of dead bodies, rotting smells, and psychopathic paintings. Really weird stuff. I killed some raiders in here, looted a ton, and had to go up 3 floors. From there, I found a crawl space through the wall and then headed downwards towards the basement. Down here, even weirder, like this satanic looking painting here. Just weird killer vibes. Past the door, the sewer system with some radiation. A lot more raiders down here, and at this point, I gunned down a raider and turret and finally hit level 25. Our 20th achievement, Unstoppable Wanderer. Lovely. Pushing forward, I headed down here and then finally found the Raiders boss. Killed them all and saved Pickman. I looted the room and there she is, the 11th bobblehead, the lockpicking one. I then talked to Pickman and I knew I should have killed this man. He's mad weird, insane, and you can tell he's a psychopath with just how he talks. He gave me a key to a safe with some presents in it for me as a thank you. I made a quick save just to be safe in case I need to kill him instead. So I went back to the red room, went into his house, and to the left, the painting. Another mad creepy one. Bethesda did an amazing job with this entire questline and location. And, well, the presents weren't bad. I decided to let him live since he's just torturing and killing raiders, from what I can tell. And this knife from him seems really good, in case I ever need to use melee. I headed back to Diamond City, but for a new side quest chain. I have to complete this entire storyline basically for one bobblehead. The charisma one. I headed to the Dugout Inn. Sounds like it's being run by a Russian. Sounds fun in here. And then a ghoul in military clothing came and talked to me. His name is Edward Deegan, and he's like a personal assistant to some rich guy, Mr. Cabot. Said he has some missions for me if I'm down. I say yes. I had to talk to Mr. Cabot first because he likes to meet everyone that Edward hires. Find it weird that this dude hires a lot of people then, and still needs my help. So I was suspicious, but I headed over to Cabot's house. Went inside after they finally let me in, and well, it's also weird. This place looks brand new, like nothing happened in the past 200 years. Very strange. I'm even more suspicious of these people now. But there he is, Mr. Cabot. He talked about aliens and stuff with me at first. It was fun. He believes that aliens started the human race thousands of years ago. I can kind of see it. It's a fun theory. And then I was cleared to work with them. Edward told me about some package that went missing. I should start at the Insane Asylum, as that's where it went missing. Strange. I went over there. The literal one time that I don't go and see if someone is an enemy, and I decide to shoot first, of course, is a friendly. My bad. Luckily, they didn't get mad at me for some reason. And then I talked to this person. She says that the package was stolen by raiders and they're held up in a building nearby. It's strange that they haven't left yet though, so I should be cautious, like I always am. And I headed over there. I threw caution to the wind, went up to the window, and shot everyone down. Once the pew-pew was done, I looted the bodies, and on the last one was a strange serum. It removes a stupid amount of radiation from the body and some other cool effects. Definitely a strange serum. I returned back to the Cabot's house. I talked to Edward and told him that I recovered one of the serums. One I could have lied, but I didn't care to. He was happy one came back, and we went over to Mr. Cabot, who was being yelled at by his mom about something. Apparently his sister, who I thought was his daughter at first, went missing. She went to some club or bad part of town and hasn't been seen since. So I headed over to the place, scared the weird loser at the entrance who tried to get money out of me. Then I headed over to the club where she was last seen at. Down the stairs and over to the bar was a funny robot. I told him who I was looking for, and then he told me to talk to the singer. She kept flirting with me, but I had to remind her that I have a girlfriend and that I'm looking for someone. She kept flirting, but then called over the guard from when I first entered this place, Mr. Ham. He told me some weird cult leader was in here and convinced her to come with him. The guard gave me a flyer, the cult leader left, and I headed over to the spot that was on it. Once there, I talked to the leader, and I immediately wanted to shoot the dude in the head as he was talking about how he committed domestic violence on the sister. He tried to get me to join. I threatened him with death. He stood down and let me in. The thing is, I may have taken the wrong door. I thought he meant I could go in here, so I robbed him because, you know, he's a very bad man. I don't like how he talks, nor what he does to girls. Then I found the actual door he meant. I went inside, there's the sister, and holy crap, she's insanely old. I then did what every single old girl loves, and I asked her age. It didn't anger her too much, and then I learned that the serum actually stops you from aging, or it makes you age backwards to the first time you took the serum. her. I didn't really understand how it works, as she talks a little silly about it. But then once we were done talking, instead of going home first, she chose to head to the bar to drink before heading home. I went back to the Cabot house afterwards and was interrupted with telling them the good news about his sister. Edward was on the line and said that raiders were raiding the insane asylum. Apparently, they were trying to reach Mr. Cabot's father. I told him I would help him out with taking the place back, and then he finally cared about his sister. Told him she was fine, and we headed off. This dude actually thought, though, that I would travel with him all the way there. Absolutely not. I teleported, and that's a lot of dead bodies. Inside, lots of raiders. Who would have guessed? Working our way down this place, we finally managed to reach Edward. He did his best, but he couldn't stop them from reaching the basement to where Mr. Cabot's dad was being held. Oh no. Don't worry, Edward lives, by the way. Also, I got the bobblehead here. I believe this is the 12th one. I could be wrong, but it's the Charisma one. Lovely. So, we had to take the long way down as the elevator was stuck at the bottom. Upon reaching the bottom, there was his dad. The raiders were looking at him and almost getting him out. I rushed inside and killed the raiders. I took this dude's armor, as it's amazing and looks so cool and way better than mine. And, well, this is when things get weird. So, I think this force field around the dad's room was shut down or something. So, I could either let the dad out and possibly die, or I could help out Mr. Cabot and turn on the breakers to keep the dad inside or die or something. It was a confusing time for me, I'm sorry. But I chose to side with Mr. Cabot. I don't trust the dad. He has an artifact on his head that's controlling him and giving him powers. Like, be for real, he's obviously going to turn on me. Once I turned on all of the breakers though, the force field went red, and then Mr. Cabot sent some kind of radiation waves or something onto his dad, killing him, even though he was still locked in his room. So, killing him was unneeded and pointless, but whatever. I then looted the dad's room. Nice. And talked to Mr. Cabot. He kept on being sad as he killed his dad. Reminder, Mr. Cabot and his entire family, I believe they're all my character's age, over 200 years old, but they didn't freeze away like me. I then told him what he did was fine. I didn't want to make him mad, even though what he did was stupid to me. And then he tells me to come back to him in a week. He thinks he can use his dad's artifact to make a weapon or something for me. He did manage to make something. This awesome gun. He then tells me how he's going to the Mojave Desert, the map of Fallout New Vegas, in hunt of an alien city that his dad heard of. I just thought it was kind of cool about the shout out to the other Fallout game, and that you would like it too, Dave. Anyways, I wanted to test out the gun. I found this random house with Mirelurks and a raider and got to shoot it. This thing, honestly not bad. I actually kind of like it. Seems fun. Might be a good crowd control weapon. It's time we begin the next faction. I went to the Boston Commons, found this robot, and this plate nearby. It has a secret code on it, and like 7 other plates do too. It'll be like 4L or 6B, something like that. And this red brick road to follow to uncover the mall and the location of the railroad. Sorry, Dorothy and Galinda. This road ain't for you. I made it to the door to the outside of the railroad. I fought some ghouls, found the correct pathway because of the sign. For secretive order, they sure do make it easy and obvious to find them. Then I came upon this plate on the wall. All I had to do was spin the outer ring to the letter I wanted and then press the center circle. This may surprise you, but I'm spelling railroad. I know, super difficult to figure out. Once I spelt it out, the wall opened up and I got flashed by the second coming of Christ. I answered their questions of who I am, how did I find this place, why did you break into my house and make me breakfast, I'm married, get out of my house, I'm calling the cops. All rude stuff, really. I'm not sure why they're not being more appreciative, but then came the ending, which I screwed up. Apparently, the railroad likes The Sims. I thought they wouldn't, just like everyone else, and I failed joining the railroad. I reloaded a save, rated everything, and this time, I said I'd totally die for a Sim. Totally would. Don't worry about me, because I'll make sure to pull through for one. After the lady who I'm calling Miss D, as her name is too difficult for my white self to pronounce, I then talked to Deacon, who for some reason vouched for me since he's read about me in the papers. I'm flattered, and he said he had a mission for me. I'm starting off as a small fry in this faction, but that's okay. I just need to meet up with Deacon somewhere, and the mission sounds dangerous. Should be fun. I'm putting this on the video because it's hilarious. On the way to meeting up with Deacon, there was a very explosive and colorful encounter with the settler in a house. He ate some bad meat in a can, said he has explosive diarrhea, and that I should run away from him as it's going to get messy and stinky. I think he ate the meat from that one factory I went into to get a bobblehead. You remember it? Oh, Good. I'm glad you don't. Great job paying attention, Daniel. I met up with Deacon. He looked different.
Is that you?
It says he likes to change his entire appearance every 1 to 2 years. Immediately clocked it. He has to be a synth, right? There's no way you can get plastic surgery in this universe anymore. Maybe Skyrim, possibly Starfield, but not Fallout. So maybe that's why I had to say I'd die for a synth to join the railroad. I don't know, it's just a theory. A game theory. From there, he had me run up to the bridge and how to notice railroad signs from other people. Really simple stuff, it's just following arrows. And I'm a YouTuber. I know about arrows, alright. We then met this dude. Had to give him a secret password. He said their old base, where they just were, is crawling with synths and traps. So, we have to take the escape tunnel into the place to recover this special device. It's some prototype and Miss D needs it. So, I ran down the bridge, found this power armor in a cage, and now I have power armor for the mission. My third one. We entered the escape tunnel, and it was just a ton of shootouts with synths inside. Walking over a lot of his, old comrades' bodies, nothing to really write about. Once the fighting was all done, we made it to this giant safe, and inside, the prototype. Deacon told me to bring it to Miss D, and she'd have to let me join the railroad as thanks. So, I shot my way out of the building, went up an elevator, shot more synths. Deacon teleported in front of me from the basement, not helping my suspicions that he's a synth, and then returned to the railroad headquarters. For some reason, Deacon was here already, and he was telling such an obvious lie that it was absurd that Miss D bought it, but I'm very positive she's not an idiot and she knew it was a lie, but still, appreciated us getting the prototype and coming back with it. So, I got accepted into the railroad and got the 21st achievement, Tradecraft. She then told me I need to take the prototype to Dr. Carrington. He said thanks, welcome to the team, but in a rude manner, and then gave me a quest. I need to go meet someone at some place. Spoiler. It's a really sick place. I actually like how it looks. Then, help escort, not like that, a synth to some safe haven railroad to escape. So, I went to the place. It's absolutely beautiful. Found the old dude who was sad I wasn't a chick. I'm sorry, sir, that I can't ride you like that, and then accepted his quest. I went and cleared out a church of heretics. I waited for the old man to show up with the synth. He lit a lantern. I waited for the next guy, and got to blasting. I had to escort them both to some, family location called High Rise. It was insanely easy and super fun. And then delivered the synths to High Rise's safe haven. I can see why the railroad is helping out synths if they're all this kind and shy. I then returned home. I then stopped Dr. Carrington from spooning his, I'm assuming, wife, and turned in the quest. That's all for now, though. We need to go vault hunting for another bobblehead. So I'm gonna trim this entire event a lot. So much went wrong in reloading, and ultimately it just came down to my confusion. I went to Diamond City, headed west. Took a bit, but right here on this lake, if you want to call it that, I finally noticed the vault symbol on my compass and headed over. Cool. Went to the other door. Talked to the overseer. Said I got the 3 fusion cores. I can go into the vault. Dope. Unlocked the 22nd achievement. Gun for hire for completing 10 side quests. Sick. I then headed down the elevator. I talked to Austin. I took his tour. Then went to the doctor once the tour was done. I donated blood. I waited 24 hours. Okay. Strange. Austin's little quest thing didn't appear. Okay, maybe it's bugged. I reloaded and redid it all. Still not working. Oh, I have to leave the vault and come back for it to work. Not wait 24 hours. Gotcha. Returning to the vault. Oh no, Austin is deathly sick and about to die. He was bitten by some mole rats here. This dweeb said he found a secret vault through a wall here. Strange. I guess I'm in the vault of the first season of the Fallout TV show? Not entirely sure on that, but I'm choosing to believe it. This place was awkwardly long to get through. Just a lot of running, and then a lot of mole rats to fight. I guess with me killing them all, congrats to Vault 81 for unlocking a lot more space. I don't know. I finally made it to this quarantine zone. Please don't get PTSD, Dave. Everything is fine. No more quarantine time and staying inside for a year. The scariest part, however, oh my gosh, dude, this robot, she spoke French. It was insane. If only the French were real. She said she finished working on a cure for the mole rat stuff like 83 years ago and was trapped in here since. I lied and said I was from Vault Tech and that she's free and able to open the door now. Yippee! The Frenchie is free, and I finally got the medicine bobblehead I've been after for 45 minutes. Then the French robot decided to follow me back to Vault 81 and to the med bay to give Austin the cure. I handed it to the doc, he gave it to the kid, he lives. The doc gave me a gun I'm going to sell as a thank you for saving Austin, and the overseer gives me a room in the vaults as a thank you. Actually, kinda dope. Not sure if I'll ever use this place, but still, it's cool to unlock it. And since it's on our way out, I wanted to go check it out. It's a cute room, not too bad. The only nice thing, this bobblehead display. Oh my goodness, I love it. Especially since I can get the freaking bobbleheads out of my inventory so it's easier to search through my stuff. I want this at Sanctuary badly. If I wasn't making Sanctuary my base, I think I'd actually live in Vault 81. Anyways, I went to Sanctuary and immediately got sidetracked. I noticed that the place was lowering in happiness and the food was in red in the top left corner. Not good. So I planted more food, water, some benching tables because apparently this will produce happiness, added more beds for more people, and then remember to make the bobblehead display and place them there. If I can count, I got 13 bobbleheads, only 7 to go. From there, I went to Diamond City and finally met up with Nick Valentine again, finally continuing the main quest. I was able to loot his house, so I did. Then got to telling him what happened at the beginning of the game, how my wife was murdered, Sean was kidnapped, what the bad guy looked like, sounded like, what they did, etc. Then Nick got an idea of who it could be, Mr. Kellogg. And this time, he ain't selling cereal. Dun dun dun. So we went to his home here in Diamond City, and we totally legally entered his house with his permission, and I got to looting. The game had to help me find what I was looking for, this button under the desk, and we discovered Kellogg's freak room. I looted his cigar, and apparently this is unique. No one else in this world smokes, and I can show this to Dogmeat, and somehow he can lead me all the way to Kellogg because of this cigar. Cool. Now to go get Dogmeat. What? Oh, okay. Or he could just be outside the house somehow and be ready for a mission. Okay. So I followed Dogmeat, which was just a lot of fetch areas. It just got funny when I saw this roaming robot in Raider Squad looted this dude with an amazing helmet. It's the news flying robot head. Yoink. And then killing this dude right here, I got the 23rd achievement, Mass Hole, for killing 300 people. Honestly, surprised how long it took me to get this. Then literally right after that, like 30 seconds later, I got the 24th achievement, Animal Control, for killing these bloat flies. Honestly insane how I got these back to back. After following Dogmeat for like 10 minutes, we reached Fort Hagen. Or Hagen. It seems like Kellogg is in here, and honestly, it's so nice of him to just leave cigars, alcohol, bloody rags, and a perfect line for someone with a dog to track him down. I just had to find a way inside of this place to say thanks to him. It was easy. It was downstairs in the garage. Inside of here, confusing pathways and trying my best to figure out how to go down and into a door that I needed to enter to really start hunting Kellogg. After killing quite a few synths and some turrets, I managed to find it. Inside of this basement kind of area, it got better. Kellogg began to talk to me over the speakers, saying it's pointless being here, it's useless trying to find him, I'm weak, I'm in over my head, blah blah blah. I was also keeping an eye out for the kitchen in this place. Inside of it, like right here, there's the energy weapons bobblehead, number 14 out of 20. Almost there, Dave. And then finally, because I swear to God, I've read like 50 so far, I found this magazine and read it. Finally getting the 25th achievement, Prince Not Dead, for reading 20 magazines. After a lot of running, also looting this lovely closet with a fat man and other items that I'm just going to sell, I found the door that led to Kellogg. Upon finding him, he had 3 synths backing him up, and we talked. He mentioned my son is alive. He's older, he's at the Institute, and I'll never find him. He's happy where he is. So I shot and killed Kellogg and his goons. I took everything from Kellogg as all of his stuff seemed nice. Then I went to the elevator and left this place. Upon reaching the roof, this was surprising. Didn't think it was possible to have a vehicle like that in the Fallout universe. I figured vehicles were just impossible. So this is kind of sick to see. Really loved it, but I wish I saw this during the day. Then I just went back to Sanctuary and got situated. Next up, I hit up Nick Valentine. Piper was there too, wondering about me. Can't blame her. And I told him what happened with Kellogg. We now have an issue. We don't know where to find the Institute to find my son. Nick, however, is a genius, given he's a robot, and tells me that if we get Kellogg's brain, we can go to this one location with a doctor there who has a machine that can show us the memories of the brain. I tell him that I'm amazing and already have something from Kellogg's brain. Some synth item. Nick says we won the lottery with that, and to head over to the location where the doctor is at. Unlocking me the 26th achievement, Reunions. But that's gonna go on pause. I need to continue the Brotherhood of Steel's questline a bit. So I returned to the police station, talked to Dance. He told me we both have to go to the flying ship from a little bit ago, and one, we're going in style. We went up to the roof, boarded the vertibird, and I had a sick gun, which is insanely inaccurate. And I only had that one raider to shoot, sad face. The entire ride, however, was insanely sick. Actually love experiencing that in the Fallout universe for once. And we made it to the flying ship, the Pride Wind. I got talked to by a general or something when we first got on board, and then I looted my way to the leader of the Brotherhood. He looks insanely evil. Kind of the same for everyone else here. Maybe this isn't a good ending to go with, but I'm not certain yet. The dude was talking about the Institute is evil, synths are evil, and the end of the world, and how we have to kill them all to save the Commonwealth and the rest of the world. Once he was done talking, he talks to me. He said Dance praised me, and I got the rank of Knight. Not sure what that means, but I did also get a free power armor, so I love this place a lot more now. Then I had to head over to Dance once Maxon was done talking to me, told him what's going on. Then he tells me I should go talk to the crew, so I did. I talked to the doctor, who was stunned I was a vault dweller, this nerd who gave me a quest to bring in a lot of books, very fitting, talked to this poor overworked lady, and grabbed my power armor, which this one I actually want to upgrade to its max, so I need to unlock the armorer skill all the way. Should start that now. And then the final person, this merchant on board who screams out scam artist the more I talk to him. He also gave me a quest, but I don't know if I'm doing either of these guys' quests, but with that all done, it's time to go talk to Maxon again. He tells me there's a fort nearby, and it's pretty strong. Its name? Fort Strong. And inside, there's a ton of super mutants, which he hates, and they're hoarding mini nukes, which Maxon wants. So I had to go down, board this vertibird, go pew pew with the minigun on board, and kill this behemoth, which is our third big creature I killed for that one achievement. Then I cleaned up the rest of the super mutants, looted them, and went inside. Same story. More super mutants, I killed them all, saw Curie in action, and now I'm insanely happy that I gave her those arms. My god, she's strong, and now she can protect herself. The remaining super mutants in here were hidden fairly well, but I said hi to them all. Then Dance surprised me by being in here. I don't know why he followed, but didn't help. But okay, whatever. I then returned to the ship, and Maxon told me, great job. But now, we need to find the entrance to the Institute, which we'll be getting to later on. We got some other things to do, like finding the rest of the bobbleheads. So, number 15, it's the small guns. It's located at the Gunner's Place, just a news station. I had to run all the way there, and I tried to discover some locations along the way to unlock the achievement for discovering 100 locations. Making it to the Gunner's Place, just had to fight outside, head into the building, more fighting here. Also, landmines, lots of those, which actually got this random robot I hacked to be on my side to die. So that sucked. Fight my way forward till I got to the on-air room. The door was locked with a master lock, but you guys don't call me John Fallout 4 for nothing. Inside, the boss looked like a deer caught in headlights. It was hilarious. We killed them all, then I got the bobblehead right there on the center of the desk. I was going to leave, but then Curie had the bloodthirst of Kratos and ran off. No, seriously, she did. She ran to the other side of the building without me and killed more gunners here. I thought she was a scientist, clearly, she's a cool one. And then we finally left, but not before a present for the lovely gunners up top who came out of nowhere and wouldn't stop coming. So I accidentally forgot to start recording. I pressed the unpause button, but I wasn't recording, so there wasn't anything to unpause, blah blah blah, my bad. I killed this behemoth here, making that 4 out of 5 large creatures for the achievement. Again, my bad for not recording. And I was fighting this town right here because I got sidetracked and looted the place. I'm cutting across here to get to the Atom Cat's garage. The unarmed bobblehead is there, and I'm trying to unlock as many locations as I can, as I'm close to 100. Upon making it there, this place actually seems cool. It has a lot of character. The people here are very unique too. I like it. Inside of the garage, on the hood of a car, is the 16th bobblehead, unarmed. Lovely. Up next, the Poseidon Energy Building. Again, trying to unlock as many locations as possible, and there we have it. At this random raider spot, or gunners, I forgot. I think they were gunners. I unlocked the 27th achievement, Rangers Corp, for discovering 100 locations. Now, upon reaching the Poseidon Energy Building, if your lockpicking is high enough, if you actually go to the roof, say hi to the raiders, and make it to this door on the roof, it's a master lock. But getting through it, you'll save yourself a lot of time and ammo. I'm now behind the boss, and just fought with my scary war machine companion. Hundreds of bullets later, everyone was dead. I was looting to my heart's content, and there it is, the 17th bobblehead, the endurance one. Now to head over to the wreck of the FMS Northern Star. I was going to see if I could bring my power armor here. That's going to be a no bueno. So I swam over to the island. I got a warm welcome from the locals and then began looking for the right boat that holds the Luck Bobblehead, which was on the south side of the island. Right here near the top of the ship it is Bobblehead number 19, which we can't get the 20th one just yet. It's in the glowing sea and we're not heading there yet. But this was a weird part for me. Down here in the ship, if I flip the breaker, it'll allow me to unlock a settlement here. That's not the weird part. This is the Mirelurk Queen. So I killed it with Fury, and I was supposed to unlock the Harder They Fall achievement for killing 5 large creatures. This is my 5th one, but it didn't unlock. So I did a quick load to redo the fight because I thought maybe Curie killed the Mirelurk Queen, and that's why I didn't unlock the achievement. Nope. So maybe she killed the behemoth I killed off camera by accident, and that's why I didn't unlock the achievement. Who knows? Following the electrical line I got here. I flipped this switch, an annoyingly loud noise appeared, and all of the Mirelurks around here ran. I said hi to them all, and now to go to Vault 88. So this is a DLC area, and unlocks a giant, and I'm not joking about the size, a giant vault where we can build and control it. Kind of cool. I had to come all the way over here and kill like 24 raiders to finally get to the door. The Brotherhood even came by and helped out. It was kind of funny. Never asked for their help either. Anyways, I found my way down and entered the entrance to Vault 88. I killed the 3 raiders trying to break in. The Overseer didn't sound too happy with them, but when I opened the vault, she seemed happy. However, this vault ain't too lucky. In fact, it's awful. Everyone except the Overseer are feral ghouls. Can't imagine how awful that must have been to watch your loved ones and friends turn into monsters. It's like watching your friends get into League of Legends. It's so sad. So I cleared out all the ghouls. I ended the security lockdown to the vault, which must have been hell to listen to for like 200 years straight. Then went and got the vault circuit board and turned on the workbench. From there, I could clear out the rubble, which I'm kind of stunned they didn't manage to clear it out with their hands after 200 years. Just saying, I'd get it done in a week. And there she is, the Ghoul Overseer. Long story short, I shot her friend who turned. She said how the place fell apart and that everyone is gone. The vault is a wreck. She needs help to tear down everything, build her Overseer desk, get more people, you know, the typical stuff. Also to explore the vault and turn on the rest of the workbenches, which that was a ton of fun to do. Sarcasm. It was a giant maze. The fun part though, which I think I was right about one of the 5 giant creatures I killed. I think Fury took one of them from me. When I made it to the last workbench, there was a Mirelurk Queen here. Kind of surprised there was one, and I killed her, unlocking the 28th achievement, The Harder They Fall. And then immediately after that, once I found the circuit board, turned on this workbench, and boom! The 29th achievement, Better Living Underground. Now to go interview the wanderers trying to move in here. While I was starting up all of the workbenches around here, I was also starting the radio beacons to entice people to come live in the vault. We now have 3 candidates, and well, I didn't realize that there was right and wrong people to let in. I kind of just let them all in. Apparently the first 2 you shouldn't, as they're obviously just trying to steal from the vault or going to do something sketchy. Oops. The final candidate though, Clem. He's really funny. The poor man is so desperate to live here that he doesn't care how dangerous it is. I feel bad for him, but he passes the questions with the Overseer and is the first citizen of Vault 88. I then went to the Vault Locker box thing, got some Pip-Boys in vault suits. Took a while to figure out that I had to press T to force Clem to wear the suit, but doing that, I unlocked the 30th achievement, Vault Dweller. Nice. Now, since the Overseer here is a psychopath, she made me build this exercise bike, because apparently exercising in a vault is insanely selfish and rude, as you're working on yourself instead of the community. Well, this bike fixes that issue. Like some gyms in real life, this bike will be a generator as someone uses it. So I built the bike, I built the terminal, and for the life of me, could not figure out how to get Clem to ride it. Apparently, you hook up a generator to the terminal first, then you use it to select the experiment, and then Clem will ride the bike. I just had to sleep for 1 hour. My god, this man's quads had to be insane to do that for an hour straight, and there we have it. The experiment is done. Clem felt terrible about exploding the bike from being too strong. Kept saying he broke the vault and he's so sorry. It was pretty funny. So I repaired the bike and he got back on it. Next up, the Overseer needs me to go to some chemical plant to get some weird fluid for the next experiment here. This should be good. Now, funny enough, we've been to this spot before, but I never went inside. Probably a good thing that I didn't, because entering this place, it was strange. This building is obviously a chemical plant. Looks like the place fell apart when the nukes went off, and it made a gas leak happen inside. Honestly, this is probably the best outcome for this place. But the gas, I believe it makes people highly hostile. Mainly because a lot, if not all of the gunners inside are attacking each other. So it made it fairly easy for me to explore this place, and after a good couple of minutes, I managed to reach the end of this place. What was interesting, and I'm not sure if there was something special you could do with him, there was a gunner who wouldn't fight. He just sat on the ground, screaming that I'm not safe or hostile, but I forgot what he said. So I was curious, and I shot him. Nothing bad happens, cool, but past the door, we're in the final stretch. I killed the gunner's boss and looted everything. It seemed like someone else was interested in this place too, not just the Overseer. So we returned to the vault and talked to the Overseer. I did all of that to make a soda machine for the next experiment, which, after setting it up, I made it so the soda improved their moods. They basically got high. I made a very, very relaxing and happy soda. Then the next experiment was some eye machine, and I was so incredibly close to making it, but I needed more nuclear material. Not a problem. The Overseer told me this vault was chosen for this specific spot because we're resting on top of a ton of uranium. I just need to go mine it. So I went back down to the mines below and found some uranium. Now, you'd think that all you have to do is press E or something like in Skyrim to mine this stuff. Nope. Took me a while, but all you gotta do is go into build mode and then scrap it. With that figured out, and honestly, this is kind of the better option to do it like that instead of how I thought it'd go originally, as when you scrap it, the material goes straight into your workbench and not your inventory. So with hundreds of nuclear material gathered, I went and built the eye machine. All it does is check to see if your eyes are good and to improve your vision. I then had Clem run it, and one of the bad settlers sat down and took it. The weird part was her freaking out on me at the end of it, as the machine actually helped her out, and she tried to force Clem to leave the vault, saying it's evil here to watch his back, blah blah blah. Was actually surprised with how she reacted, and she left the vault. The final experiment is to make a slot machine and let Clem gamble for an hour. And oh my god, I've never been so jealous of a man before in my life. I took a nap, and Clem gambled his heart away. I set the slot machine to actually let him win, so I'm sure he made a killing. Man, he lucked out. Anyways, with all the experiments done, it's kind of funny. The Overseer acts so suspicious and talks like she's so evil, but all of these experiments I feel were actually good. Like, they all had a positive outcome. That or I'm just naive and they're all actually evil, but we made an exercise machine that creates power, a soda machine that mellows you out, an eye machine to fix your eyesight, and a gambling machine that lets you win. So, with all of that, the Overseer said she's going to travel to other vaults, give them the tech and spread the knowledge around. With that, I actually became the Overseer of Vault 88 and got this jumpsuit. But don't worry, I'll never return here. This is the end of the DLC, and I got all 3 achievements for it. Unlocking the 31st achievement after she left, Oversight. We're now 36% done with the game. Time for a pit stop, as I've looted a ton of stuff, and I need to put it all away. Only reason why I'm showing you this is because Kiri made me nervous that she was going to abandon me and leave. You see, there's an achievement to romance someone, and I think Kiri would be perfect, as it'd be funny to me to have my character fall in love with a robot, especially a robot that looks like this. Anyways, Kiri said she can't be a good scientist in this robot body, so she needs help finding someone who can transfer her robot mind into a human body. Basically hinting that she wants to become a synth, which I'm totally okay with, as Nick Valentine is dope. While we're here, I put the bobbleheads in my inventory away. God, it looks so cool. I can't wait till we get the final one. So there's an achievement for making 50 weapon mods, and there's a super easy way to get it, and so much cheaper. So all you have to do is go to some mod part, like the muzzle, and then click on the no muzzle attachment, then reattach the muzzle to the gun. The game registers that no muzzle as a mod, and reattaching a mod counts as making one. So I got to 50 super fast and unlocked the 30-second achievement, Armed and Dangerous. Shout out Juice WRLD. We can finally, after a super long time, return to the Minutemen quest. Preston has been over near the castle for quite some time, and it's time for us to go take it over. I just need to run a super duper long way over there. Also trying to discover locations just so I can get more areas to teleport to in the future. And there we are. Just 4 people just waiting here to take over the castle, but with me here, it's like we have 10,000. 1,000. So we stormed the castle, a few Mirelurks here and there. Then we had to go and destroy the eggs in here. But when there's eggs, there's a mama. I called it before she appeared. I can just sense a MILF nearby. What can I say? And yeah, there's a Mirelurk queen who targeted me, so I felt like it was very personal, but she went down. From there, the castle was safe and the Minutemen finally had their own main HQ base. Lovely. I just had to scrap some stuff around the place. I tried to set up a supply line so my settlements are all connected with resources. Guess homeboy over here didn't want to do any running for me. But I managed to make 2 big generators and power the radio here. Now, the Minutemen can call me when someone or a settlement needs help. Yippee me. And I unlocked the 33rd achievement, Taking Independence. The next achievement still involves this place. First, I went to sleep for 72 hours, as one does, and waking up, I had to go find Preston. He's back in Sanctuary, and he told me to go back to the castle about some artillery. Doing so, some grandma was here and like any, right, grandma. Very rude. Wouldn't stop trashing on the new Minutemen or place. But she knew about the armory here and how to make the artillery. So, first, this took a stupid amount of time to figure out how to get inside the place. Not sure why the waypoint is on this door. No. So what you have to do is head back into the castle walls, remove the debris with the workbench, then travel through this death pit of a walkway, kill a robot, let grandma hack the computer slowly, and then here's the old general. I'll put his clothes on display back in Sanctuary. I finally got into the armory and opened the door. I looted the place clean and then went and fixed up the castle off camera. Once I was ready to proceed, I made 2 artillery cannons on top of the wall and assigned this dude to it. Grandma then told me to go throw the artillery smoke signals at the house down here. It's where we met with Preston to take back the castle. It took a hot minute, but they finally got the signal. Now, Grandma said this was a test run to see if everything works well. I guess the guy on the cannon didn't get the memo as he fired 5 shots and finally finished the task. I was done here and Grandma was happy with everything. So I returned to Preston and completed the Old Guns quest, unlocking our 34th achievement, Old Guns. I want to go and speed through some achievements now. Some fairly easy ones. First off, I headed back to Sanctuary. Super easy and fast one is to make a pillory and assign a settler there. Not sure why you'd ever use this, but I thought it'd be funny to put Ada into it. That would be if Ada could get into it, but she's immune to it. But I did get the 35th achievement, Time Out. Next up, I went and made an armor display, weapon display, put the Minutemen General's clothes on it and a random pistol. Then I made this elaborate power armor display and put one of my power armors into it, unlocking the 36th achievement, Show Off. Next one, I'm shocked I haven't finished so far, but I just went to the cooking pot with some dirty water and made 100 purified waters, unlocking the 37th achievement, Wasteland DIY. After that, a fun achievement. I've never done this in Fallout 4, but did you know you can have machines automate building stuff for you? Because I didn't. This thing looks awesome. I just made a builder, then a collection spot connected to it so the items don't drop onto the ground, put 1,000 steel into the machine, connected it all together with a generator and a terminal, then set the machine to build Vault-Tec lunchboxes. I didn't know it at the time, but they weigh 0 pounds and are worth 10 caps. Not bad. Sadly, you can't sleep or wait to make it go faster, apparently, so I just AFK'd here and played on my phone. Missing when the achievement first popped up, but I did catch it once I made a noise. My bad. Didn't want to make a massive recording file. And now for the interesting one. There's an achievement for maxing out the happiness of a settlement. I'm not doing that at any settlement I've made so far. It's too difficult. So here's what I did. I went over to this new location. I forgot the name of it, but I had a quest for it. First, I went and cleared it out of the enemies, then went and cleared it out of the beds and other items. I then built a tier 2 bar for the future settler. This will get us to 100 happiness. I then put 100 mutt fruits and 100 purified waters into the workbench for the settler to eat and drink. I now need a settler. So I went to Vault 88. This girl came up to me and talked, so I sent her to the farm like Dr. Phil. I had to wait 2 days for her to arrive. Finally, I signed her to the bar and lots of waiting. So before I off-camera slept for 20 IRL minutes straight, the settlement was somehow at 80 happiness. With a new settler working at the bar, it'll raise the happiness, right? Well, Dave, I'm happy to tell you that after 20 minutes of constantly sleeping and skipping days, the settlement is now at 84 happiness. Oh my goodness, I'm not doing this. So I was going to keep AFKing and have this achievement pop up, but No, I'll keep playing the game and let it randomly pop up. We can go back to the Mechanist questline now, since we have the areas around that questline discovered. I went over to the General Atomics building and went in. Really tiny area, a few robots in here, but every single one of them was carrying a robot mod, which I'll need for a future achievement, so I just looted everything. Then, making my way down to the second floor, I found some robot with a literal brain. Killed them all, opened the security doors, and there's the Mechanist beacon, or something. I don't really know, but Ada wants it. So I looted the rest of the stuff in here and went back to Sanctuary. Talking to Ada, she says I need to build the robot workbench. You know, the same one that's right here, but for some reason, it just doesn't count. I tried to see if I could attach the new Mechanist mod anyway. I couldn't, but I could put these tires and better weapons on her arms. Went with it all. Especially the tires, so she can walk faster, but also she just looks really funny, being so massive. Then I caved in. Scrapped my robot workbench and rebuilt it. Wow, it now works. I talked to Ada again, told her what I found, and now I can add the Mechanist beacon to her. Doing so, she can somewhat locate the Mechanist, but there's two other robots with the same beacon, and she needs those beacons to pinpoint or crack some code or something to find him. So I now need to go and collect those two beacons. The first one was easy. It was just a tiny squad right here, and I took them out fast. I believe from these robots, I unlocked the 39th achievement, Robot Hunter, where I get 10 robot mods. Was shocked how fast I unlocked this. Now, the last one. Things got interesting. I had to come over to this array place. Ada told me to be careful. Apparently, they're super dangerous and tough here. Except I'm him, so it'll be a cakewalk. Arriving to the second robot's location, there was some firepower outside. I took him out with ease. The funny part was the vertibird that couldn't hit me at all. I thought it was the Brotherhood of Steel. No, it was Gunners. I don't know how they managed to steal one of these, but I thought it was hilarious that it was them. So I shot it down. Finally, I figured out how to get down to the second robot. It was a terminal right here, and then went inside. This place is an absolute maze. It's very confusing at times. Then making it to this section right here, I'm okay. I don't feel like playing peekaboo with the robots in here, so I got to chucking. I cleared the place out decently and made it to the spot where I had to talk to Jezebel, the second robot. It's this really sassy and rude human brain in a tiny robot body. She promised to help me find the Mechanist if I gave her a robot body. I said sure, not knowing what I just signed myself up for. Until I get her a body, I believe she won't shut up and will always talk and comment about me while I play. Like right here, where she literally called me a loser with no fighting skills and I'll die because I'm pathetic.
Based on my limited experience with you, I estimate a 65% chance of making it out of here. Not optimal. An increase in effort could have an impact on the odds.
So yeah, that really makes me want to help her out. Anyways, towards the end of this place, I came into contact with this absolutely sick looking robot. Another robot I'd love to have as a companion because they look so sick. I just don't get the name. This succubus actually looks terrifying and not something you'd want to meet at night. Then there's the power armor dweeb behind it. It ate a ton of my bullets too. Jezebel was ecstatic that I killed them both. I think they were the ones who put her brain on top of that machine and used her against her will for something. And then once I finally found the freaking door to get out of this place, I teleported back to Sanctuary and gave Ada the beacons. Plus, Jezebel's head. She found something with her beacons. I think the location of the Mechanist, or at least somewhere close to him. And then I told her how I'm gonna have Jezebel help me find him. I went and built Jezebel a body. Found out I have a lot of mods from all the robots I killed, and I figured it'd be funny to give her an insanely overpowered body, so I did. She did not like that, and kept insulting me. Dave, I gotta be real. I think I'm gonna kill Jezebel. She's insanely rude, annoying, and get this, she's a psychopath. Who would have guessed? She says she's programmed by the Mechanist to help out humans. How does she help out humans, you may ask? Oh, by killing them. She straight up said that. So, yeah, maybe giving her this body wasn't a smart choice. My bad. We'll come back to her. I found out where the Mechanist is from her and that I need a MSAT device on Curie to get inside the place and go through the doors. The MSAT acts like an identification card for the robots. I then told Ada everything. She wished me luck and also said that she doesn't trust Jezebel too. Jezebel also told me at the end of our convo that she's going to stay here to see what happens between me and the Mechanist. So now I have a psychopath in my house. Yeah, I think think I'm gonna kill her, Dave. I got the 40th achievement from finishing headhunting, after I built Jezebel's body. But then I went and stole her legs, because if I'm going to be going to this robot boss, and from what I've seen so far, I want Curie to be strong, and to carry a ton more. I believe she can carry 400 pounds and has 640 health, or she can carry 640 pounds and has 400 health. I just want her to be tanky and deadly. With that all set up and done, I headed over to the Mechanist location. It's at some dry cleaning place or something, as a front. So, we snuck inside. I looted, and we made it to the first door. I had Curie scan it, and write down in the comments, how many doors do you think opened? 1, 2, 5. Would you believe if I said you're all wrong, and it opened a lot more? From there, we went down. I'm yelling timber. You better move, you better dance. No, we actually made it to this very obvious trap part. It's a scanner to make sure I'm not a human. Oops, I am. And I tried to see if I could turn them off. You cannot. So I went down the hallway and set off the alarms. I had to shoot out some turrets, the robots came. Curie and I fought through them. The Mechanist said, I'm no match for him over the intercoms, and we pushed forward. I opened up another insane door with 50,000 doors behind it and was welcomed with more fighting. So Dave, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna cut a lot out of this entire bunker. This genuinely felt like a dungeon in a MMO. It was so incredibly long that it took me over an hour to finish this entire dungeon. I even maxed out the carry weight on Curie and myself. So, the Mechanist genuinely didn't know what she was doing was wrong, and that the robots were killing people. She felt awful about it because she was genuinely trying to help people out. She agreed to stand down and to not continue this anymore. She even gave me the password to her computer, and I was able to shut down just about every robot. Once I shut it all down, she came and talked to me again. She gave me her sick Mechanist armor. This is going right on a display mannequin back in Sanctuary. I also let her live because she didn't seem evil. She was actually surprised about all of this. So with that all done, I headed back to the surface. I returned to Sanctuary and told Ada everything. She was a little disappointed I didn't kill the Mechanist, but I'm not evil. However, Ada is happy that it's all over now. I unlocked the 41st achievement, Restoring Order. And after all of that, I needed to blow off some steam with how long that dungeon was. And I unlocked the pickpocketing skill that lets me put live grenades into people's inventories. So I did. I made a quick save. I put one into this poor soul's inventory. He went boom boom, and I got the 42nd achievement, Prankster's Return. We're now 50% done with the Fallout 4 achievements. Phew. It's been a while, but it's finally time to continue on with the main questline. So, I had to go meet up with Dr. Amari. Nick was already there, and we told her the plan. We need to access Kellogg's memories. You remember, the guy who kidnapped my son and killed my wife? She said it's possible, but we need someone to go in to get through the security and to allow the brain to work. At first, it was just going to be Nick, but apparently, the security on the brain is high. So, I also went in. This section was okay, a bit boring, but we learned that the assassin of my wife was raised in an abusive household. He ran away, he found a girl, and had a child. Mercs or something came and killed his wife and kid. He literally became John Wick. He killed the mercs, got into the assassin business. The Institute got a hold of him because he kept killing their guys. The dude convinced the Institute lady to hire him. He becomes her assassin guard dog. Boom. There's my son. Sean has definitely grown up a bit. Definitely no longer a baby, but we figured out how the Institute moves around. They teleport. And Sean was teleported back to the Institute. There's also a scientist who ran away from the Institute, and he's hiding out in the glowing sea. He's our only chance of figuring out how the teleportation works and also how to teleport. I just need to go find him. After that chat, I unlocked the 43rd achievement, Dangerous Minds. Once I was done talking to the doctor, I also talked to her about Curie and how she wants to become human. The doctor, and also me, I figured she'd have to become a synth because there's no way she could become human. The doctor confirmed my thoughts. Apparently, there's some synths who are brain dead from the procedure to free them from the Institute, and Dr. Amari knows of one and is going to contact the caretaker of it. Now, the big issue, I didn't realize that Curie would stay here and wait for the response. So, yippee me! I now don't have my world-ending, all-powerful, big inventory robotic companion. But before you comment, yes, I know I can go back to Sanctuary and get another companion to travel with me to the glowing sea. No, I don't care to do that. I'm stubborn. So I traveled to this boat spot as it's the closest to the glowing sea, but we're not heading to the glowing sea just yet. Remember how I only have 19 bobbleheads? Well, it's finally time to go get the last one. The 20th bobblehead is in Vault 95, which is being guarded by an incredible amount of gunners and assaultrons. Huge fight to get inside. I took my time and stayed back while blasting them. Then, once I made it to the main lobby room area, I went to the right. I went down to the residential area. It's a bit confusing down here, but I just went this direction. I went through a hole in the wall. Then I had to find this wall-mounted turret. That's how you know you're going the right direction. Then I came upon 3 gunners Eiffel Towering in this bedroom. I killed them all, and right there in the center, on top of a radio, the Big Guns bobblehead, unlocking the 45th achievement, their action figures. So then, you know, like if you put both of the achievements together, they're not dolls, they're action figures. Haha, oh my, Bethesda, how do you do it? Back to the important stuff. The glowing sea really isn't hard. As long as you have Rad X, you'll be fine. I didn't prepare for this area at all, and neither did these Deathclaws that I obliterated. I made it to some psychopathic camp where humans are living in the radiation and worshipping it. They're known as the Children of Adam. And with my high charisma, I got the leader to talk and tell me where the Runaway Institute scientist is. I then ran over, I snuck past his traps, and I found him. I gotta say, I was a bit surprised he's a super mutant, but also, it makes sense. I convinced him I'm not from the Institute, and that I need his help getting inside there to find my son. He then agrees to help me get inside with a teleporter if I promise to grab his special serum in the Institute. He was working on a serum that'll turn him back to normal and apparently left it at the Institute. Sure, why not? I'll happily loot the place and look for his serum. The way we're going to be getting inside now, I need to go kill something called a Courser. It's an Institute synth whose sole purpose is to be an assassin. It's a very deadly fellow, and there's a way to find them. Remember that annoying mission where I had to find dead Brotherhood of Steel members? Well, they weren't known to be dead, but I had to follow my beeping Pip-Boy to their locations. Same thing. I teleported to a location where the scientist, whose name I forgot, told me to go to. I then followed the beeping sounds and ended up at this tower. Inside, crawling with gunners. I got to shooting and looting. Then I heard something about him going after a girl. At the top of the building, I finally caught up to him and got into a shootout. Lucky for me, even though the Courser is invisible, that doesn't matter. I can just unload this machine gun and randomly hit him. Once he died, I looted everything. I got the device I needed for the teleporter and unlocked the 47th achievement, Hunter/Hunted. I then tried to see if I could free this gunner. I couldn't, so I left him alone so he could stay safe and maybe one of his friends could come release him. I then got a password from a dead body. I unlocked this computer and I let the girl free. It's a runaway synth and I wish I could tell her about the railroad guys. They'd love to help her out, but the game wouldn't let me. So I left the building and before continuing on, I went and got situated. I had a lot to sell and store. Also, I went and stored the last bobblehead. The first time I've ever collected every single one of these. I actually felt very proud. Once I was all done, I headed over to the railroad and told them I need help with decoding this device. Miss D was impressed that I got one of these. Said she doesn't believe that I killed a Courser, especially by myself. So I don't like her now, as she's insulting me. But anyways, I'm now working with this cool dude here. He was able to decipher the device and put its code onto a holotape for me. I then took that back to the super mutant scientist man and he wrote down the machines I'd need to build to teleport into the Institute. With that, I went back to the railroad and talked to Tom. He told me how to make the teleporter pad, but needed time to figure out the other devices. I could go to some new settlement that the railroad wants me to build this device at, but I chose Sanctuary. It's faster to build it as all of my junk is there. Also, if you're wondering why I chose the railroad for this mission instead of the other factions, there's an achievement that'll be locked away if I don't choose the railroad. Like literally the only reason why I went with them. So far, I think I like the Minutemen the most, but I'm uncertain of, what canon ending I'll be going with. I built the teleporter pad and then the high-end nuclear reactor. With that done, I returned to Tom and he had the other 3 devices I need to build figured out. If I'm missing any parts, he told me where to go for them. So I returned to Sanctuary, I built whatever the heck this thing is, and the relay dish. I plugged those into the nuclear reactor, and this tall doodad thing kind of looks awesome. But the final device, the control console. I need a biometric scanner, which is weird because I know I've looted dozens of those before. I don't know where they went, but not to worry. All I had to do was follow the waypoint, go to the hospital, kill some super mutants, and look for the biometric scanner here. Once I returned home, I built a console and had to build this thing to actually power it. And then a funny thing happened. While talking to Miss D, she was telling me about some inside help in the Institute when I unlocked the 48th achievement, Benevolent Leader. That solo settler place I built, it finally hit 100% happiness. Thank goodness. Anyways, Miss D was telling me about someone called the Patriot, who's working at the Institute and is helping Synths escape. They have no way of contacting us at the railroad, and she wants me to go inside the Institute, put this holotape into any terminal in there, and make contact with the Patriot. After that, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with them. Maybe help them with something? I don't know. I also unlocked the 49th achievement here, the molecular level. Once inside, this place, it looks amazing. It's so weird to see clean places in Fallout. And I was also expecting to immediately fight. I'm glad I was wrong. Immediately, however, I was caught. Someone called Father was over the intercom and talking to me. He told me he wants to meet me and he'll explain everything. Before heading to the elevator, I went to the terminal right here and put in the holotape that Miss D gave me. I sent the Patriot the message, and now I have to meet them in a storage room. I also clicked on download something, which I believe I copied over at like important Institute information. With that done, I went to the elevator and headed down. Father was talking about how amazing the Institute is and what they're doing and what their goal is. He was gassing them up a ton, and honestly, he was making the Institute sound good. Once the ride was over, I headed down a hallway, I went up an elevator, and there he is, Sean. My son is behind this glass, and well, I can't blame my character. He didn't keep his cool, and he kept telling Sean that he's his dad, everything will be fine, and he's going to get him out of here. Only issue, Sean doesn't know us. We're a strange psycho-looking man who's threatening to take him out of a safe place and into the radiated wild. And, as you would have guessed, Sean began freaking out. The poor 10-year-old was begging for Father, the other guy, to come in and save him, which he did. And then he said a synth command, and, well, that's not my son. That's a synth of my son. They got my son, and he's dead. All of this was for nothing. Oh, you're my son, aren't you? Father over here made it, slightly obvious that he's our son, as he said, your son is a lot closer than you think. Like, okay, son, dad, I'm not sure what to call you. It feels like I'm in Interstellar right now. It's such a sad and beautiful movie, but anyways, Father confirmed it. He's our son. So many things rushing through our minds at this point, and it's insane. I guessed you're right when I figured out we were frozen again for about 80 years. Except Sean just told me it was 60. Oops. But yeah, our son is now 60 years old, and he desperately wants us to stay here and work with him. Began talking about the Institute more and answering my questions. Again, Dave, he's making the Institute sound really good. How they're trying to save humanity, fix the issues on the surface, and Lord knows, there's a ton wrong up there. To cut it short, he's really good at talking, and I told him I'll join the Institute. I gotta play kind to unlock some achievements in here, and I kind of want to hear this faction out more. Once Sean was done talking to me, he told me to go talk to the 4 main head scientists around here to get a feel of the place and to learn more about the Institute. I'm going to take my time to explain some reasonings that are about to happen in the future of this video. TLDR, the scientists here don't trust me as I'm an outsider, but they're going to be kind and work with me because Sean said so. Also, one of them gave me a Courser chip and my Pip-Boy so I can teleport in and out of here at will. I'm literally the only person with this power. Also, the bioengineering scientist is my favorite, especially since they have synth gorillas in here. It's amazing. Now, I finished talking to everyone and unlocked the 50th achievement, Institutionalize. From there, I went and met up with the Patriot, and he was stunned I was here. He told me he didn't know what happened to the synths when he helped them escape, but he's happy the railroad has been helping them out. Learning about me, he now has a plan to help a lot of synths escape at once. He wants me to follow him, and I immediately got bad vibes from this. I followed Patriot over, and we met up with a synth named Z1. The synth apparently can convince and or talk to any synth here and will coordinate with us on them escaping. I think my bad vibes are right, because if I'm going with the Institute ending, this won't look too good for me if Sean finds out, but anyways, 13 synths want to escape, and apparently we're going to help them do that in one escape, instead of taking one synth out at a time. All I need to do is get some password for some computer in here and get it to to the Patriot. I didn't really follow this part, was a lot of news going on, I'm sorry. But before we go get the password, I went and talked to Sean. I told him the place is amazing and I'm more on his side now. Sean then told me how he's so happy and that he wants me to go meet up with a courser to capture an escaped synth. You see, the synths are incredibly powerful and strong. If they get free will, it can go bad, it could even be dangerous. Just like this escaped synth that we're going to go get. His memory was wiped, so he doesn't even know that he's a synth, and he's a leader of raiders now. He's killing many innocent people in the Commonwealth, so we're going to go with a courser, we're going to kill the raiders and bring the synth back. I then tested out the teleportation thing, and it made me fall in love with this place even more. I can actually teleport out of here at any point in the Institute. It's so much better than the railroad. Speaking of which, when I teleported in, I told them the news and went to a terminal to put the holotape with the Institute copied notes that I got. Miss D over here, really not liking her now. She's too bloodthirsty to help out some clankers. Like, I get where she's coming from, but I fear she lost the plot. These are creations and robots, but I don't want to get into that topic. It takes too much time and it's not really important to this movie. Anyways, I headed out to some library place to find the password for the Patriot. It wasn't too hard. I got the password from this terminal and returned to the railroad, to then immediately leave and meet with the courser. I teleported nearby and had to fight my way through some robots. And then one of the worst situations was just waiting there for me. So the courser was already fighting. I didn't really want him to die. The raiders were sniping and shooting everywhere and everyone, but the actual important part, the Brotherhood of Steel was here and they had a vertibird, and I knew I couldn't fire at it at all or else the leader of this Brotherhood faction on the Pridewind, he would catch wind of this, possibly ruining my chances at the non-canon Brotherhood ending. I'm just worried about achievements here, Dave, but it didn't matter. This courser really is strong. Guess I'm just too goated and that's why I was able to kill one. Yeah, this dude took down the vertibird. Lovely. And the next section was just a ton of fighting, and I loved it. So many robots and raiders to loot. But it was also fun in this area. It was just a ton of boats meshed together and sketchy walkways and bridges. It was nice. Except for if I fall, I have to reload a quick save because my power armor can't float or swim. Nice. But yeah, I just sniped a ton here, but it was a nice change of pace. And once I killed every single raider, we just started to climb the boat that the leader was on. There's so much loot here, and then to go up to where the synth captain is. Before that, however, the courser told me a phrase to tell the captain. It'll reset him into a docile state, and the courser can teleport him back to the Institute. With that in hand, we went up. The synth tried to intimidate and scare me. I didn't even give it the time of day. I immediately said the phrase, and brother went to sleep. The remaining two raider bodyguards freaked out, and I took them out. Then the courser teleported back with the synth, and boom, we're done. Now to just return to the Institute. But before talking to Sean and telling him we got the synth back, we gotta go to the other group who thinks we're actually going to help all of the synths escape. So I went and talked to the synth first. He told me other synths will join in the fight to let all of these synths escape. I just need to go kill some guards in the mines below, and the mining synths down there will make it look like an accident happened and everyone died. Then all of the mining synths down there will use the mining machines and tools to create weapons. This way, all the synths trying to escape the Institute will have weapons to fight through this place and escape. I told them I'll go kill the guards, but first I went to talk to the Patriot. I gave him the password and username he needed for the mission to let 13 synths escape. I believe he doesn't know about our plan to let all synths escape here. As he's a human, he might not like the idea of, all humans dying in here? So after that, I went and sat down and waited a day for the synth to finish talking to the other synths to see if this plan about killing the guards will work. I talked to him, and he said a surprising amount of synths agreed to do this. So next up, I went down to the mining level. I saw all of the guards like this, and really wanted to throw a grenade, but I knew they'd just move and it'd be for waste. Really makes me wish I had an explosive weapon. The mining synths helped me attack. My goodness, these freaking guards are tanky, but we won. The mining synths then told me to leave and they'll handle the rest. I went back to the synth upstairs, told him it's done, and then told me to go back to Sean and pretend nothing is happening. ending. He doesn't want Sean to catch wind of this. This is where I stopped doing this questline, as it'll make me an enemy of the Institute, which I don't want for our canon ending. So I went back to Sean, I told him I got the escaped Raider synth back, and then he began to talk about something that I agree with. He knows about the Railroad and how they're crazy. The Railroad has some synths hidden away at Bunker Hill. He wants me to go in with a courser to kill all of the humans there and to return the synths. What sucks, though, is that the Railroad guy, Tom, who helped me break into the Institute with teleportation, I actually do like him, as his character is super cool. Really wish that there was a way for me to save him. Speaking of saving him, I need to go warn the Railroad about this incoming attack. It helps me with continuing the Railroad questline for an achievement if I do this. So, I did just that. I went to the Railroad and warned Miss D about the upcoming surprise attack. She was stunned it was happening and was worried about where to send those hiding synths. But we came up with a plan to surprise attack instead. Sort of. So, with the Railroad warned about the attack coming to Bunker Hill, I went over there, and here's something I need you to remember, because at this point, I'm uncertain if it's going to have negative repercussions later on for our canon ending. At Bunker Hill, I met up with the courser there and made it sound like I was ready for the attack. Once we were done talking, I attacked him and killed him. But, do you notice that sound? The sound of a vertibird? Strange. Only the Brotherhood of Steel has those, unless a gunner stole it, but unlikely. So I went over to the CIT ruins to meet with Sean and talk to him about what happened. Upon reaching him, he tells me this is the first time he's ever stepped foot out onto the wasteland. He's always been in the Institute, and now he's more certain than ever that there's no saving the Commonwealth, and what they're doing in the Institute is crucial for humanity's survival. He also says that the Institute saved him, and that living in this Commonwealth, evil things probably would have happened to him and us. He also says how he's the one who released us from the cryopod back at the beginning of the game. Said that the Institute kept us safe in case he died at some point, as the Institute needed our DNA for whatever. We then tell Sean that we love him. He responds with how impressed he is with us finding him and just how everything turned out. It was a super sappy and cute moment. It really locks in my belief that the main character would absolutely choose the Institute as the canon ending. Hence why I'm going with him. But, it wasn't all good. He knows the Bunker Hill attack went south, and he wants to know what happened. I told him we were ambushed. He doesn't buy it at all, and wonders why the Brotherhood of Steel was there to ambush us. Yep, the Brotherhood of Steel. Not the freaking Railroad. No. The faction that I did not warn about the Bunker Hill attack because it can possibly affect our ending achievements moving forward. Somehow, Sean didn't blame the Railroad for the ambush. I was stunned that the Brotherhood was blamed and was praying that nothing would come of this. Sean was pretty okay with us. He seemed heated and told us to return to the Institute. We have a board meeting to join, and he's also going to keep the news of this Bunker Hill incident hidden for the time being from the board. So, I teleported to the Institute as instructed and met up with Sean. The board meeting began. None of them wanted me there as they don't trust me yet. Sean ignores them and continues the meeting, talking about how the security is okay in the Institute locations. They're also planning on making a nuclear reactor to power the Institute now and forever, which I highly agree with. Very smart choice there. And then a bombshell. Something that actually surprised me. Sean tells us all that he's dying. There's nothing the Institute can do to save him. I'm assuming he has cancer, and with the event that happened recently to me IRL, found it humorous. I'm all good, I promise. So, we were all obviously stunned about this news, and then Sean drops another bomb. He announces that he's appointing me as his successor. We will lead the Institute once he dies or steps down. Obviously, the board did not like this, so we'll have to prove ourselves worthy of it. But I think we'll be good. My character's stats are almost all maxed out. I'm basically a god compared to them. That was the end of the board meeting. I can see why Sean wanted us there. We didn't even get to really talk about him dying. All of this work to find him, and now he's going to be leaving us soon. I can't help but wonder, why didn't they just make him a synth? Is he worried about becoming one because the technology isn't far enough along to make him completely human-like? Or is it because becoming a synth isn't what I think it is? It doesn't make you a synth, it makes a synth like you. Oh, and I unlocked the 51st achievement, Mankind Redefined. Now, Dave, we're reaching the end times. As in, like, it's time for the endings. As far as I know, there's 4 endings to Fallout 4. Or at least only 2 endings with achievements, something like that. But I need to catch up the Railroad and Brotherhood a bit before we go through with some endings. Starting with the Brotherhood, I teleported back to the Pridewin and talked to Maxon. He was butthurt I didn't use the Brotherhood to build the teleporter for the Institute. Womp womp, I don't care. But he was impressed that I made it inside. He then told me 2 things. 1, go to the armor girl that gave me this power armor and give her some holotape. I don't know what's on it, my bad. And 2, go find Madison Lee, who, as far as I know, is from Fallout 3, and that's insanely cool she's here in this game. I need to go to her and convince her to rejoin the Brotherhood. It turns out it's the scientists and the Institute, the one in charge of the advanced machinery or something. There's an issue there, but we'll get to that in a second. I went out of the Pridewin. I jumped off because I'm cool and aura farm a lot. Then found out that she doesn't have legs. I don't know how I didn't notice that before, but I gave her the holotape and finished the side quest. Next up, I teleported to the Institute. I went and found Madison Lee, and again, I really don't want her to leave the Institute. It's our canon ending, and I'm about to run it. So why would I want to lose an amazing scientist? But don't worry, I'm smart. So I convinced her to leave the Institute and return to the Brotherhood of Steel. She said she doesn't like how sneaky and selfish the Institute is and how we don't help the surface people. Womp womp. But yes, she is going to be returning to the Brotherhood. If I wasn't an absolute genius, Dave. You see, the game saved right when I entered this wing. So I went back, I made sure the picture was obvious of our canon ending save, I wrote down the name and time of the file, then went back to my quick save that I made when I finished talking to Madison Lee. In case that was confusing, I made a save before I talked to her, so I can come back and do the Institute ending while she's still working for the Institute. And now, I'm just playing on a save that I don't care about because it's for a non-canon ending. Smart, right? Next up, I returned to Maxon and told him that Madison Lee is joining us. She'll continue her work on a scary weapon for the Brotherhood. Now, something about Liberty reprimed? I had to go talk to Proctor Ingram again, since Madison Lee is now back with the Brotherhood. She then showed me the secret project they're working on, which is about to become not so secret anymore. Liberty Prime from Fallout 3, the giant amazing robot who's hilarious and screams out American propaganda. I love it. So the robot was destroyed back in Fallout 3, and we're rebuilding it to defeat the Institute. And this is why they needed Madison Lee back. She's one of the original designers and creators of it, and Ingram can't figure out how to repair it now. So, while they're working on that, I have to run out to some hospitals again to find some high-powered magnets. They need it for some actuators to let the arms and legs move on Liberty Prime. It's not too difficult, it's just time-consuming. So, I went back to the hospitals, super strong with my 10mm pistol now because I maxed out the skill and got the magnet. I did that some more and returned to the base to build the 4 actuators. Talking to Ingram, she's shocked how fast we finished it, and then she dropped some bad news. Almost as bad as dropping a nuke. Well, not really, but she did say we need nukes, as it's Liberty Prime's main weapon. Sadly, all of the nukes are gone, since they all went boom boom. But apparently, in the glowing sea, there's a nuke or something out there to make a nuke. I'm not sure, but I've been there before, so I headed out. After killing some monsters and Deathclaws, there she is. One of the coolest buildings I've ever seen. A giant pyramid. I headed through the front doors and honestly, I couldn't resist. I saw this elevator with a box at the bottom, so I jumped. I just wanted to see what would happen, and apparently nothing. This is the area I'm supposed to be at, sort of. Once I went down here, I had to run and find this tunnel system. Then it's a giant maze with some dead ghouls, some living, like this welcome party. I thought that was insane, but after a lot of turns and corners, I made it to this spot. I thought it was strange and that I would need something here, but nope, just had to take this door up. Then I went outside to Mordor. More enemies out here, and well, this is weird. I have to re-enter the same pyramid. Okay, game. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I had to run up some stairs and meet this radiation cult weirdo. Another one of those children of Adam. I lied and said I'm here to also worship the Atom. Then, for some reason, he gave me the password to the terminal that'll open the blast doors and allow me to turn off the turrets. Thanks, stupid? Inside the blast doors, dozens of nukes. Like, a stupid amount of nukes. Kind of insane to see them being stored like this, but all I had to do was put down the signal device here and return to Proctor Ingram. Back there, she was happy I found the nukes and said that Liberty Prime is all done. Just some minor hiccups hiccups here and there, but he's basically done. We ran through some tests, and Prime basically confirmed he's all good to go. Ingram gave me a power armor upgrade. I think it auto-uses stems when I'm low on health. It's pretty cool. And then told me I need to go to Maxon about some quests. So I teleported up top and went to him. He then drops a nuke on me. Genuinely, never saw this coming. Paladin Dance is a synth? I never once thought that he was one. He just seemed like a typical army dude. But yeah, Maxon was pissed because the holotape I brought back from the Institute had a list of escaped synths. And one of them matched up to Dance perfectly because of the DNA. And to make matters worse, Dance ran off. They don't know where he went. I convinced Maxon that I didn't know anything about that about Dance, and then he ordered me to go and find Dance and kill him, since he's a synth, you know, the main enemy of the Brotherhood of Steel. To know where to start looking for him, he told me to go and talk to Proctor Quinlan. Anyways, Quinlan is an idiot. His suggestion for finding Dance was to go and look at every single place he's been to before. I kid you not. Yeah, sure thing, Four Eyes. Let me go and check thousands of locations for one man. This isn't a waste of time and resources. But then, that scribe that was at the police station when I first met everyone, she came in, obviously pissed off, understandably so. And she trash-talked Quinlan to his face, gaining my respect. She then told me to meet her at the Vertibird for Dance's location. She then pleaded with me to not kill him, but to at least hear him out first, because she also doesn't believe that he's a synth. I agreed to it, because honestly, I'm not killing him. This entire event is just too weird. So, once I promised to not kill him immediately, she told me about this one location where he said to meet up if they, ever got separated back at the police station. So, no other Brotherhood member knows about it. So he might be there, and I headed over there. It had some turrets out front, so I took them out, powered up the elevator, and went down. Once down, I killed more robots and turrets, and there he is. Dance, the human man. I talked to him, and he already accepted his death. Even he was surprised that he's a synth. He then tells me to kill him, to not dishonor the Brotherhood way. I then tell him no, I'm not killing him. Oh, but Skies, I'm a synth. Enemy now, I'm an enemy. No, Dance, that's stupid. I'm a lot more intelligent than the Brotherhood of Steel leadership in this game. It's stupid to kill you when you pose no threat. You only helped us out. You haven't contacted anyone from the Institute. You have no ill will in you. Then came the funniest dialogue to convince him to live.
I've already lost my family. I don't want to lose my friend.
You're right. How could I have been so blind? I should consider how my death might affect the people that care about me. People like you and Halen. Perhaps now that you've opened my eyes,
that was so badly
I can
written.
consider my next move.
Yeah, that was beautifully written, Bethesda. Game of Thrones Season 8 is jealous. Dance gave me his holotags to show Maxon that he's dead. Wink, wink. I went up to the surface, and of course, try not to make this political, but, man, does Maxon scream a certain party that I hate. Maxon was clearly not happy about this, and was so unbelievably ignorant in just, a male. It's the easiest way to put it without getting political and saying what's on my mind, but there was so much fighting and arguing. Dance again accepted his death. I said no, because I'm the alpha wolf here, and Maxon finally gained some IQ points. I'm so proud of him, and let Dance live. However, Dance cannot talk to any Brotherhood member again, or go to the Pride Win, or else, he'll be killed on sight. Once a loser left, Dance told me he's not going to leave the Commonwealth anymore, and instead is going to live in this bunker, because he wants to help me out in the future with anything. I then returned back to the Pride Win, and talked to Loser Boy. He then tells me with Dance being dead, he's not, Maxon and I will just pretend that he is, and the rest of the Brotherhood believes that he's actually dead. It's all make-believe, really. But Maxon tells me, with Dance gone, they need another paladin to take his place. So he gives me the title, which I'm stunned because I thought I'd be kicked out. It just proves my point with how stupid Maxon is. So, finishing this mission, I finally unlocked the 52nd achievement, Blind Betrayal. Next up, we need to go talk to someone, but that's where I stopped the Brotherhood's questline, as this is going to the Brotherhood's ending, and there's a faction I can't kill just yet. Returning to the railroad, finally, Miss D warns me that one of their settlements, a place that the railroad uses to move synths around, has gone dark. No one is replying there, obviously. That means a courser was or is there and has killed everyone. I went to the tower with a confusing name. Up top was welcomed by a courser and and I managed to lie my way clear of suspicion. The courser actually believed that I was sent as backup. Then, I got to shooting. I had to kill every synth in here to protect myself from the Institute hating me and work my way down the tower. Once I made it to the ground floor, I teleported back to the Railroad HQ, gave her the bad news, and then she told me to go around and help others in the HQ, which I'll get to later. Let's go knock out a few achievements. I went back to Sanctuary and made this red and blue arena plate thing. I then made a timeout alarm, something to say the round is over. I then got 2 settlers to fight and unlocked the 53rd achievement, Instigate. After that, I had to go make some cages. I believe all of this is DLC stuff. There's 15 cages. I believe 5 small, medium, and large. I'll put them all into a line and power them up with some poles from the nuclear reactor, unlocking the 54th achievement, Trapper. Then, I placed down 2 beta wave emitters. Won't have any effect on me as I'm so alpha. I'm sorry. And later figured out how they're supposed to work. You just need 1 for the entire settlement, but they can be destroyed, so be careful where you place them. I then slept for 3 days, and nearly all cages were full. To release the thing from the cage, just remove the power from it. So I did that. I got a cat, a supposed dog that looks like a nightmare. Some of the things you can trap aren't possible to tame, so that sucks. And some of the things will fight each other, so be careful of that. I learned all of that the hard way, especially that Deathclaws don't like just about anything, but I now have a Deathclaw defending the base, so that's genuinely sick. As long as he stops killing things here, but yeah, I unlocked the 55th achievement here, Docile. Lovely. Some more easy achievements done. And with those out of the way, it's time to end Fallout 4 several times. So we're going with the Institute ending. It's probably going to make a lot of you mad. Womp womp. So we're doing the Brotherhood first. One thing to note, even though there's 4 endings, there's only achievements for like 2 of them. The Institute is entirely on its own for some achievements, and then the Railroad, Minutemen, and Brotherhood are all the same, basically. So you don't really have to worry about too much achievement-wise. So starting off, I went and talked to Dweeb over here. He said before we begin anything, we need to eliminate the Railroad. I'm not against this. I'm not the biggest fan of the Railroad. Ingram also wants me to save that robot from the Railroad, Pam. It's a pre-war robot that's insanely good at making war decisions and overall a good robot to have. So she wants me to put in this holotape into its terminal to convert it to the Brotherhood side. You know, normal good people things. Cough, cough. I teleported over to the church that's hiding the Railroad HQ, and I got to shooting. I can't lie, it was nice killing the drummer boy. He's mad annoying, running up to me each time I enter this place and telling me to talk to someone that I don't care to talk to. But Misty was kind of sad to kill. Her dying words were, "I'm coming, Sam," which I'm assuming is her child or lover. And there we have it. The Railroad is all dead and gone. Well, their leaders are. I then almost killed Pam, so happy I didn't. I loaded the holotape into the terminal, and now we have Pam on the Brotherhood side. I then returned to the surface. I went back to the Pridewind and told them it's done. Next mission we need to do is find a strong nuclear core for the Liberty Prime to power up. That will then bring it to full power, if you will, instead of it being on life support from the Pridewind's power source. Ingram told me she'll tag along. Why not? I do need a companion to help me out. Which, spoiler, she barely did, but yeah. There's a building called the Mass Fusion. I believe the Institute controls it. We need to get in there and steal the core before the Institute does, and takes away our only chance of powering on the Liberty Prime. We flew over in the Vertibird. This minigun absolutely just sucks. This thing cannot hit a target to save anyone's life, which thank God that the pilot said we're taking too much damage and I'm just going to be dropped off on the roof. So much better and easier with my pistol. On the roof, I had to find some kind of password and ID to allow me into the building and through the doors. With that, we just got to work our way down, which going down took absolutely forever as this elevator is slow. The entire time we were heading down too, since we're teleporting in and trying to stop us. Easy pickings though. That was until they set off a bomb and made the elevator crash and lose power. I could then either power it back on or jump down. Gee, I wonder which one I'd choose. After landing on the ground, just had to kill some more synths and then head down into this cool looking chamber room. I passed through the decontamination hallway and into this scary place that maxed out my RADS counter. I'm slowly dying in here, my goodness, so I rushed to the core, I took it out, and then the security kicked on. Apparently, this place doesn't like it if you steal their nuclear power supply that's that's keeping everything on. My bad. I had to then fight through the security, which I had to clear out to open up doors. Wasn't too bad. This pistol of mine does insane damage. I love it. Making it back to the main lobby, I could stay and help out the Brotherhood with fighting the synths, which I did for a little bit, but I just didn't want to spend any more time here, so I left and returned to the Brotherhood's area. Ingram gave me the honors of putting the nuclear power thing into Liberty Prime and then turn them on. Not like that. Immediately, the thing begins spewing out American propaganda. Was amazing. So I believe this mission is a homage to Fallout 3 because there's a Liberty Prime mission in there and I absolutely love that one. So my mission is to follow Liberty Prime and protect it. You'll see that the protect it part is really stupid. It's like telling a Marine to protect Optimus Prime while it fights babies with a nuke. It's just silly. Why is the Marine there? Each time we met some enemies, I would try and help kill them, but this monster would just chuck him in. Liberty Prime is so American, I nearly cried. Then we reached this bridge. Liberty didn't want to walk over it, something about the cars scaring him, so we crossed the river. I teleported and met up with him. More fighting happened, and then we got introduced to behemoths. He one-shotted the first one, so that was very awesome. And then the second one, it seemed like it wasn't going to do anything, so I shot it to half health. Then, this American machine monster grabbed the behemoth by its head and slammed it into the ground, killing it. It was absolutely awesome, and I wish things like this would happen a lot more in Fallout. From there, it was just more walking, and we finally reached the CIT, the building on top of the Institute. We had to protect Liberty as it scanned the building for where the Institute is. It finally found it and then went Superman through the ground. Once a tunnel was bored, it chucked a nuke. Again, this thing is so American that I nearly sobbed. And then our journey with Liberty Prime was sadly over. No more listening to it insult China and communism while praising America and democracy. A bit ironic. But yeah, time to enter the Institute and get one of the endings. So I jumped inside and headed to the left. I unlocked the 57th achievement, Ad Victoriam. I'd love to know why half the Institute is pretty, clean, and new, but the other half is all destroyed, rotted away, ugly. Even Maxon commented on it being awful and expecting more. That aside, we had to fight our way through and work towards the center of the place. After killing some synths, Ingram stayed back at the teleporter console to teleport us out once we put the explosive onto the nuclear core in here. Then, it was a ton of fighting. Nothing to really talk or write about. Once we made it to the room that would lead us to the reactor, it was locked away by an admin console. The console in Sean's room. I made my way there and, well, it was sad. Sean was dying in his life support chair, and we had to talk. He was so enraged and confused by us doing this. I agreed with him. Like, I'm sorry, Sean, I didn't want to do this at all. I'm just doing this for achievements. He asked me for reasons, and we just kept saying it was for the Commonwealth and to give them a choice, which is stupid. It's all just suffering up there. With my charisma being so high, I managed to get Sean to assist me in making fewer people die in here. Which makes no sense since I'm about to blow this place sky high with a nuke, but it's whatever. So Sean told me the password to his terminal and also how to turn off most synths in this place. Like, lovely. So I did just that. I opened the doors to the reactor room section, I turned off most synths, and I also set out an evacuation alarm, hopefully saving some people here. So I regrouped with the Brotherhood downstairs and we headed inside. It was a bit creepy, but yeah, a lot of the synths were just turned off. They also died with one bullet to the head. Good XP, some more fighting later. We finally reached the reactor. I then went inside, the radiation was insane, and I put the device onto the reactor. From there, Ingram teleported us out and, well, this part was so awkward and messed up. So Bethesda actually put our synth son right here. We could either let this robot miner die in a nuclear explosion or take him with us. Do I need to explain why this is such a messed up thing for the developers to make? So I told Sean he's coming with me. It'd be incredibly messed up to leave him here. The poor thing was petrified. From there, I stepped onto the teleporter pad. Maxon and I then got teleported to a rooftop safely away from the explosion zone. I then went boom boom and my god, this was sick. The blue lights from the reactor core exploding, the nuclear mushroom cloud forming, the dust from the land spewing everywhere. My goodness. The amount of people and things killed in this, just insane. I can't see how the Brotherhood are the good guys, not even to mention the radiation from this, sheesh. The screen then faded to black and we got a cutscene. The main character didn't even sound happy. He actually sounded disappointed by this outcome, further solidifying my choice of having the Institute ending being the canon one. He then talks about how the world he knew is gone. There's no going back. There's no bringing it here. He has to adapt to the land. Then, he says the famous phrase,
Because I know war. War never changes.
goosebumps. We then come back to our body and talk to Maxim. He tells us we did an amazing job and that we're so Brotherhood of Steel coded. Ew. He then tells me to meet him at the Pride Win, which I'll never do, and I unlock 2 achievements at once. The nuclear option for completing this mission, and prepare for the future for reaching an ending to Fallout 4. Putting us to 59 out of 84 achievements, which by the way, we are 70% done with Fallout 4. I then reloaded back to before I began the Brotherhood ending, and now for the Institute. This is our final and canon ending. The Railroad and Minutemen basically end the same way, same achievements we just unlocked. I had to go talk to one of these scientists here. We're heading back to the mass fusion building that we raided as the Brotherhood for that one nuclear device thing. Literally the same exact thing. Nothing different is happening. Just instead of fighting synths, we're fighting the Brotherhood now. So on my way down, I went down another elevator. Wowee, it's the reactor room. I took the core thing, fought my way out, but this time I stayed back to help kill the rest of the Brotherhood. I just wanted more XP and also the loot. Then I teleported back to the Institute and the scientist lady was happy with me. Next up, Sean time. He's telling me there's an important scientist in the Commonwealth that called the Minutemen to come protect him from us. So big problem. We need him. I could either kill the Minutemen or talk them down from fighting. Since I personally would have chosen the Minutemen ending, I talked them down. I then headed into the building the scientist was hiding in. The Institute was in there, and we're very happy I arrived, as it was about to be a huge bloodbath. So I went and talked to the scientist. I calmed him down. I promised him everything would be okay. We need him at the Institute to help us with Phase 3, whatever that means. And he'd be able to work on science projects he could only dream of. With my high stats, he agreed to come along. Perfect. I returned to Sean, and he was incredibly happy with me. Yippee. Next up, it's time the Institute tells the Commonwealth we're really here and what our mission is. So, this is the funny part. Just about every single option sounded scary on the microphone, and I was tasked with telling the Commonwealth about us since I'll be the new director soon. I tried to sound friendly and not scary, choosing options that I personally would have said or close to what I would have said. Well, Sean thought it was interesting what I chose to say, making me instantly worry about what I chose. That's cool, but it doesn't matter though. We gotta lock in and push on. Sean told me to go to Diamond City and hook up some devices to the radio station there. As a lot of people listen to the Diamond City radio station, this will be our best chance to push the Institute's message out. I then headed there, found the tiny camper van that has the radio station, and I was very stunned to see a man inside. To be fair, he was also stunned to see a 1-ton metal monster come inside and immediately mess with his devices. I had to guess what devices went where, the correct spots indicated by these green lights, and then got them all correct. Now, to head back to Sean. Making it to the Institute, I headed down to that reactor core where I put the bomb on it with the Brotherhood ending. You know, this room. And all of the head scientists were here. I went up to Sean, I put the core into the reactor and turned it on. Then Sean gave a speech about the Institute being amazing and how our future is going to be good. Just typical leader stuff. After that speech, he told me to go to the next board meeting, but as the director. It sounded like Sean is coming to an end very soon. And I still just can't understand why they can't make him a cyborg like Kellogg. Like, there's no way they don't have the technology to save him here. If you can figure out teleportation, you can figure out how to cure any kind of cancer. Making it to the board meeting, everyone seemed kind to me there. Like, no more hesitance from them. Basically, they were saying with the new nuclear power going, we need to kill off the Brotherhood. Yeah, it was all of a sudden, and yeah, I agreed. Then they asked me how we should proceed for it. We can either go the strength route and focus on weapons, or go the numbers route and focus on synth production. Honestly, both aren't bad, but I'd rather have strong units than millions of units. So I told them to go with the weapons production. That concluded the meeting. Right when it finished, a synth came and was saying some weird things to me about how my room here in the Institute flooded and my personal belongings were gone. Then he finally told me to go talk to Z1 in my room. He was telling me how the Brotherhood knows of the Railroad's HQ location. He begged me to head over there and to help them out, unlocking me the 61st achievement, Underground Undercover. So, multiple things here. Before I came to Z1, I made a hard save so I can come back once I get the achievements I'm about to head into. Second, this is going down some of the Railroad's missions, and I believe they're ending, or close to it. So everything I'm heading into doesn't matter, it's not canon. With that out of the way, I teleported to their HQ and warned Miss D about the incoming attack. When the Fire Nation attacked, they came through the rear, which is always awful when you're not expecting it, and I got to shooting. I cleared out 4 Brotherhoods there, then had to go through the entrance of this place and clear out a few others. Once I left though to do that, one of the Railroad people was there. Her name is Glory, and she was dying right there in front of me, and she pleaded for me to save every single synth ever. I was just confused the entire conversation because why didn't my guy just walk to her and hit her with a stim pack? Those things can cure just about any kind of damage, but yeah, Glory died. Won't lie, I don't know who that is, so it didn't affect me at all. Then the Brotherhood blasted through the wall. Then this dweeb called me an intruder? Like, that makes sense? Yeah, I'm an intruder in my own place. Yeah. Once they're all cleared out, I talked to Miss D, and she told me we need to attack and wipe out the Brotherhood first, because they're definitely going to come back with even more men once they learn that we may have killed their squad. To do so, I have to take Tinker Tom with me to the police station where I first met the Brotherhood of Steel and steal a vertibird there. Then we'll blow up the Pride one. So the police station had a lot of guards at first. It took a little bit to kill them all, and including the ones on the inside. Then I just had to guard Tom as he figured out the vertibird and how to fly it. Speaking of vertibirds, another one flew in, and luckily, those things are highly weak to 10mm pistols. That was actually kind of fun to be able to do that. Once that vertibird went down, I talked to Deacon, and he gave me a gun and a stealth boy. The stealth boy was cool. Not sure why he gave me a gun, but yeah, I got into the vertibird, and Dave, I thought we were going to die. It was like playing Battlefield 6 with a heli pilot that's only flown for about 11 minutes. It was rough, super shaky ride, and I didn't even think we'd pull it off, but we somehow did. Now to put some explosive charges onto the Pridewind's gas containers that keep the thing floating. Shouldn't be too difficult with these lovely stealth boys I got, right Dave? Well, sort of. So, first thing, I really wish that there was a timer on my screen, or at least, you know, being in power armor, it'd be nice if there was a timer for how long these things last. Because man, do they run out fast, and there's literally no warning at all for when they do. I try my best to sneak in and go all the way up to where the containers are. I actually almost planted all 3 without being caught, but given how I just used my last one, we gotta run. So I jumped. I somehow managed to land on a Brotherhood guy, good XP, and sprinted down the Pride one. I saw Loser McGee over there with a lot more firepower than is needed, and returned to the vertibird. Then Tom wanted to prove how bad of a pilot he is again. For whatever reason, instead of flying away immediately and also flying away from the Pride one, didn't cross his mind at all. I believe we circled this spot for no reason about 3 times. Then he finally flew us away from the Pride one, and it went boom boom. I tried to get a nice shot of this, and yeah, I wonder if that hurt anybody on board. Hopefully not. There we go. The Brotherhood is basically gone and dealt with on here. Tom made me jump out after that to go hide the vertibird, and I returned to the Railroad HQ to tell Miss D what happened. Unlocking the 62nd achievement, Rocket's Red Glare, and now we're done with the Railroad. So I returned to my cannon save, and now to continue on with the Institute, wait for more achievements. Funny enough, once I came back to the canon save and talked to Sean, he told me to go kill all of the railroad members. I thought the timing was a little, funny and ironic. So yeah, I teleported to the railroad HQ and, well, I wanted to be a silly guy. I wanted to do some nefarious things in here, like sneak behind Miss D and maybe allegedly sort of plant a live grenade in her pocket. I don't know why, but I really wanted to do this. I thought it was hilarious, and I think I was right. War broke out in this room, and I got to shooting. I took out everyone and decided to leave Pam alive. Maybe the Institute can use her for something in the future. With that done, I returned to Sean, and he was sad but glad that I took out the railroad. I think he was sad because he knew I worked with the railroad, and I guess he was worried about my character's mental health. He's so kind. But war doesn't stop there. We now need to go and take out the Brotherhood of Steel, so they won't mess with us. The big problem, though, the Brotherhood isn't just this one here in the Commonwealth. There's a lot of Brotherhood of Steels all over the world. They're like giant factions, but all work and rule together, sort of. Once we take this one out, there's bound to be another one to come and attack us then. So it'll be a repeat thing. But that's for the future Institute to worry about. Sean told me to go talk to the equipment guys. Sorry, I forgot their sections in here. They're telling me to go to the airport where the Brotherhood are stationed at and to take out some relay device and hack into Liberty Prime to be on our side. Apparently, the Brotherhood has some electromagnetic force fields around their base so that synths can't come inside, or so we can't teleport synths inside. So I gotta go in and hack into Liberty Prime with a synth with a virus. Once that's done, Liberty Prime will think the Pride one is a communist base and will destroy it. Should be easy enough. Also, she gave me some marker grenades that synths can teleport onto, in case I need help. So now, I just need to go and make it to the teleporter pad here. I won't lie, I couldn't figure out where the heck the waypoint wanted me to go to, so I just teleported to the airfield myself. That might have been an issue, Dave, just a slight issue, because apparently I teleported into the center of the heart of the Brotherhood freaking army, like an absurd amount of turrets, soldiers, and power armored dweebs just absolutely unloading on me, just getting all over my body and legs mostly, and they're having fun. Big issue for them though, I'm quite powerful, tanky, and my pistol is maxed out and shoots fast. So, I started shooting. I kept working on the big guys since they had the strongest weapons. I hid in the garage for some protection as my legs were almost broken, but I slowly kept chipping away at the enemies. I was then trying to loot all of them so I can get something out of this place. I managed to loot so much that I actually teleported to Diamond City to trade there and went back to Sanctuary to repair my armor. Then went back to the airfield and, would you look at that? More Brotherhood soldiers. They just won't stop coming. But I did manage to take him out and then work my way into the building. It took a while, once I was done shooting them, to find out what I was supposed to do. Apparently, I had to destroy these Tesla-coiled teleporting looking devices. Once I did that, some synths finally teleported through. Once I found all three of them and destroyed them, we were set to work on Liberty Prime, which the Brotherhood sent in even more units to stop us. All we had to do was protect a synth up here who was fisting Liberty Prime in the back of the neck. Nice. It took a while. The virus synth finished uploading the virus into Liberty Prime, and then the communist fighting propaganda robot came online and targeted the Pride one. Since Liberty Prime is hooked up to the Pride one for power, I'm a little shocked the Brotherhood didn't just cut its power supply. But anyways, it shot the Pride one, and here it comes. Guys, I don't think we should be here anymore, and the Courser agreed, so the Institute teleported us away to a safe spot, and we watched the Pride one crash and explode. Again, it never gets old. Speaking of getting old, though, I went back to the Institute, and I rushed to Sean. I told him the mission was a success, and he just told me to be careful of the future and future attacks. He's proud of what we've done, and he wished us luck on running the Institute. I told him I was glad I found him. He agreed. And then he told me he wanted to go to sleep. A sad ending for our son that we just met, ripped away from us again. I still refuse to believe the Institute couldn't save him, but that's besides the point. With Sean dead, I unlocked the Nuclear Family Achievement, number 63 of 84. We're now 75% done with the game. Nice. Now for some DLCs and other side things. First thing, the Nuka-World DLC. I've heard mixed things about this one, mainly the achievements, so this should be a blast. I listened to the Nuka-Cola radio station, was actually kind of fun. It made it sound like a real ad you'd hear for an amusement park, and once it was finished, I had a location to go to. There were a few gunners outside guarding the place, so I got to shooting. Once they were all dead, here's a heads up. There's gonna be a ton of looting. I have to collect 100,000 tickets at the Nuka-Cade. I wish I was joking on the number. I'm not sure how to get these tickets, but I know you can find them in containers and trash cans. So, I checked everything. Once I was satisfied with my search, I entered the building, I went down the stairs, and hello, suspicious man that I don't trust. He said that some raiders were pretending to be settlers and telling him and his family to come to Nuka-World for protection. It's just such a safe place to live. Well, okay. How is your family stuck there, but you made it back here? The train doesn't work, it's powered off, and you're not bleeding. What's stranger, he denied my stim pack. He didn't want it, but he kept urging me to go to Nuka-World to get his family back. Okay, suspicious man, why not? I turned the power back on to the train, and I really wanted to shoot him. I wanted to loot him, but for some odd reason, I didn't. So, I entered the train and went to Nuka-World. I couldn't move around, but I was able to somewhat see the area through the windows. It honestly looks pretty sick. This looks like a Halloween DLC, so I'm enjoying it. But then, we hit the section with a tree and a lot of hanging bodies. That's when someone chimed in over the speaker system. Some raider dude saying the man back at the train station lied about his family and he's shocked we were stupid enough to believe him. Well, duh, of course I didn't, but the game made me. He said there's a ton of traps and if we survive, to come meet him. But he doesn't believe in us. Then there was another annoying dude who came over the speaker system. He kept insulting me and saying I'll die and never make it through. So I entered through the door and was stunned immediately. Like, genuinely shocked. There on the ground, there was a dead Sykes? The name that a lot of people mistakenly write my name, Skies, as. So I thought it said Skies at first, and that Bethesda was pulling something weird on me was kind of trippy and cool. Really wish I could say it was a shadow to me, but it wasn't. Up ahead, I can't really write about it without it getting boring or repetitive, so basically, so many traps, it's absurd. It was getting a bit old after a while because of how slow I had to move through without dying. Proud to say I never died here anyways. Thank God for power armor. And the annoying raider on the speaker system was getting mad at me for living and taking so long to move forward. Gee, I don't know, buddy. Maybe have less traps? I kept looting containers, trying to find more tickets. Also, old world money, as that'll be important for something else later on. Once I was finished saying hello to the locals here, we finally made it to the end. A final boss fight to finally gain access to the Nuka-World. The guy down there was trash talking. I figured he couldn't tell I was in power armor as he just kept on saying how he's easily going to kill me. That was until he said even though I'm wearing power armor, I'll still lose. Kind of shocked me there. Just like how I'm going to shock him in a few seconds. So I continue forward, and the same raider who warned me about the traps coming in just told me about this fight and how to win. I picked it up before talking to him, but it looks similar to a ray gun from Call of Duty Zombies. He told me the boss is invincible because of his electric force field. This squirt gun, however, should allow us to win by short-circuiting his suit. So I went out to the arena, I let the guy talk his trash, and then rushed him with a squirt gun while giggling about how he's going to die. His force field dropped, and I unloaded on him with my 10mm. Luckily, killing him. The crowd was stunned, and then I saw the face of the raider who's been helping me this entire time. Lovely. It then caught me up to speed on this DLC. There's 3 ruling parties to Nuka-World. I won't lie, I don't remember their names. They don't play well together, and the boss I just killed was really making things bad between them all to where things were about to explode, as he was basically the king of this entire DLC. It sounds like this raider wants me to kill the leaders of those 3 parties or something, possibly make them work together. But he told me to meet him in some restaurant on top of the mountain to continue talking. Oh, and I unlocked the first achievement for Nuka-World. Taken for a ride, our 64th achievement. Finally, getting to the tower and meeting with Gage, we can finally continue on with the DLC. He basically just tells me about the 3 raider factions here. So far, only the ones who are addicted to money seem like the best. And now I'm tasked with going and meeting them all. The first one was the money ones. These guys seem okay. They were talking about me when I first arrived, so it immediately made me suspicious of them. But they seem like they won't be an issue for me as long as I promise they can work on making money and in turn making me money. Oh no, please don't work hard and make me money while making yourself money. No, that sounds awful. After that fun meeting, I met up with the second group. The Pack. some cringy dweebs who believe in the beta and alpha male stuff. When I finally managed to talk to the leader, I won't lie, Dave, I was getting overstimulated and was very hard to focus on what he was saying. Why, you may ask? Oh, the lovely stupid mole rat and dog fighting in a cage in the center of this place. The fighting noises were so incredibly loud and distracting, I just wanted the conversation to end. From memory, I just promised the dude that they can be strong or something. I really don't know. This part was really miserable. But it was a good thing I didn't overreact when I was done talking to him. I just calmly walked out of the area. Then came the fun encounter. So, long story short, the stupid leader bugged out and I couldn't talk to her. She was always busy. Lovely. Funny thing though, I made a save. I shot her to see if that'd fix it. It didn't. It made them all angry, so then I killed them all and failed a quest, and then I hit level 50 and unlocked the level 50 achievement. Oops. But yeah, I couldn't get her to talk. I won't go into more detail about that. But I reloaded before I started that fight with all of them, and once I finished the quest, I returned to Gage. He seemed happy that I met everyone, and then talked about the 5 parks around Nuka-World and how they lost control of them. So now, as the new boss of Nuka-World, I'm tasked with going through them all and reclaiming them, then assigning them to whatever faction I want. And then I hit level 50 for real. The first place I took on was some magical carnival run by a ghoul, and it's also infested with ghouls. I had to search 3 different places to find the leader. The first location I just want to show because it was genuinely insane. There was a mirror maze spot, a spinny room, a trippy rotating tunnel room where I had to select the correct one. It was crazy, but it didn't have the leader in there. Shocker. The last place I checked had him in there. He appeared and he was going to give a speech. I was curious if I could go Aaron Yeager and stop him mid-speech. I can. So I nearly killed him with my pistol, but he teleported out and I met him on the roof. Then I kind of forgot to unpause my recording software, as the loading times in this game can seriously take 5 minutes sometimes. I talked to the ghoul leader and I really did convince him to leave this place and go search for his wife to help find a cure for ghouls. Like, no, I'm serious, Dave. Like, that's not me being sarcastic and shooting him, but saying I did something else. Like, I really did do that and have him leave. I promise you. Second location, a small theme park about robots. Just so many robots. Too many, if I'm being honest. And then to finish this area, I needed to find 20 Star Core power panels to power up this computer to do something. I don't really know what I was doing. I was more so dumbfounded that I actually had to find 20 of these without a waypoint, and it was just incredibly tedious. Spoiler, I found 35 in total and got this sick power armor. Genuinely love it. Might make it my main. Anyways, the third area was easy. It was a fun Nuka-Cola ride infested with Mirelurks, but they called them Nuka-Lurks. Kinda sick. Was a fun game of hide and seek, and then at the end of it all, a queen spawned outside, and, well, I have like 55 grenades because of the gauntlet to enter this DLC. I really need to just use them to lower my weight, so I got to chucking. Didn't take much, but she died. The fourth location is a zoo. We got a very warm welcome with some animals. No idea why they attacked us randomly. Entering the zoo, I helped kill a gator claw. I made this weird barbarian-looking dude like me. Apparently this place is infested with them. Then the barbarian man showed me his family. Crazy, scary-looking gorillas. I had to search for some password, go down and disable a cloning machine to stop these monsters from spawning in, then had to go and clear out all 21 of them. Then had Sito promise he can make friends with a raider gang that was going to move in here. I then raised a flag for the money-hungry raider gang. I figured they'd be the best friends for these guys, and now one final spot. It's a western town, so it's quite cool here. Reminds me of my dad, but won't lie. And this entire place is infested with bloodworms and some ants in a specific spot. This place, it was really weird. It barely took me any time at all to finish it. I just had to listen to some robots and do their quests. Except I only did like one of them because my charisma is so high that I passed some skill checks, letting me skip their missions. Maybe that's why this area was so short for me. I finally just had to kill all of the bloodworms and go into a ride area and kill the queen there. Once that was done, the area was secured and I raised the flag for the park, leaving no parks for the lame bloody raiders who wouldn't talk to me. Yes, I'm still petty to them. After the flag was raised, I talked to Gage, and he congratulated me on securing all 5 parks, unlocking the 66th achievement, the Grand Tour. Next up though, which I'm not too okay with, nor do I want to do it, but he wants me to move out of here and expand into the Commonwealth. He wants me to take over settlements and make them for raiders? Oh boy. But since I don't really want to do that just yet, let's go knock out an achievement where I do 12 quests for the raider leaders. Since the bloody raiders leader still won't talk to me for some reason, I'm only helping out the pack and the money raiders. Once I turned in all the quests, I finally got the 67th achievement, raiding for a living. Oh man, 6-7. The 6-7th achievement. Please don't click off the video, I'm so sorry. With the quest done, I need to work on collecting the Nuka-Cola recipes for 2 achievements basically. First one is in Cappy Cafe, in the back of the kitchen next to a lamp. The second recipe is over at Evan's home in the bottom center of the map. Evans is pretty chill and nonchalant, so all you gotta do is just talk to him and say yes for supplies, then he gives you the Nuka Love recipe. Then I headed northwest and made it to the Hebologist camp. In the kitchen to the right of the table is number 3, Nuka Fruity. After that, I headed west to an honestly really sick area, the Grandchester Mystery Mansion. I talked to the robot out front, and I made it believe that I was an employee, so I didn't have to buy the entry ticket. Thank God, as I only have 17,000 caps. At the end of the tour, I had to kill Zachariah, who was very weirdly tanky and strong. And then on a dresser, you find the 4th recipe, Nuka Punch. There's also an achievement to find the Scav magazines. So here is the 4th issue, but I believe our first Scav magazine. Once we're outside, I headed north towards the Nuka-World junkyard. I just had to find this giant warehouse and then head upstairs, and in the back of the room is the 2nd Scav magazine. The next spot was a little confusing. It took a lot of running, but we just need to head northwest from the warehouse to the Nuka-World Power plant. Really big, ominous building, and then work our way to the top to the manager's office. Right on his desk is the 5th Nuka-Cola recipe, Nuka Power. Before we continue hunting more of the recipes and collectibles, I returned to Sanctuary to build the Nuka-Cola crafting dispenser things. As far as I know, there's no difference between the 4 ones you can make. I just made them all because why not? Also, it looks like settlers can use them too, so that's cool. I crafted every single Nuka-Cola that I could right now, which is just 13 of them. Crafting these dispensers, it also unlocks 5 recipes for you. The reason why I'm doing this now is because I realized that I kind of screwed up a bit, because I thought you could just drink any Nuka-Cola when killing Nuka enemies for the all sugared up achievement. That's where I kill 40 enemies while under the effects of a Nuka-Cola. No, it has to be one of the crafted Nuka-Colas, like from these machines. And I just cleared out basically the entire DLC area, so yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun for me. Going forward, I'm going to have to kill every single enemy that I see while drinking Nuka-Cola to hopefully get this achievement faster than 40 hours of grinding. And now, to complete it. So back at Starport Nuka, I headed to the right of the building, past the gate, over the fence, and right in front of this vehicle on a wooden crate is the 1st issue of Scav magazine, unlocking the 68th achievement, Librarian. Lovely. Now to finish collecting the Nuka recipes. The 14th one is in the Starlight Interstellar Theater. Normally it's right here on the counter, but I made a boom boom when fighting the robot, so it's on the floor. And there's the 14th recipe, Nuka Void. The 15th one is in the Robco Battle Zone. Inside and in between these stairs, go to the gift shop area, and on this shelf is the lovely 15th recipe, Nuka Ray. I'm finally done playing hide and seek with all the collectibles. Before heading back to Sanctuary and crafting the rest of the 20 recipes, I wanted to get the achievement for killing 40 enemies while under the effect of crafted Nuka-Cola, especially since I'm close to it as I've been walking and shooting a lot. I won't lie, it took a hot minute to do this one. Luckily, I encountered some bloodworms in the top right of the map in this strange town. Finally, killing these guys unlocked the 69th achievement, all sugared up. 69. Stop laughing. Once that was done, I teleported back to Sanctuary, and with a lot of note-taking on my phone, I finally got the last Nuka-Cola and crafted it, unlocking the 70th achievement, Beverageer. We're now 83% done with Fallout 4. And my goodness, Dave, this DLC alone is taking me longer than the base game. Now with the collectibles done, it's onto the other repetitive quest here, settlements. Except, we're not helping out Preston anymore, we're helping out Shank. Literally the same exact thing, but we're evil. So Shank tells me to go to the Slog, an area owned by a ghoul and some settlers. I threaten them to leave because raiders are coming. After a few dialogues, he agrees, and I feel bad. Next up, I had to go to this poor farmer because Shank said that we'll need supplies and caps. I convinced the farmer with words too, and now we're set up with that. But it's not always going to be easy being evil. Other evil people want what you have too. So I had to go back to the slog and protect it from an enemy raiders gang, known as the Sinners, and immediately made me want to watch that amazing movie again. Once this place was secured again, I went back to Shank. He told me good job like I always do, and then finally I can move him to the slog in the Commonwealth. Then I just had to talk to Shanks again, and now I need to go get 2 more settlements. Both of them were the same. Just go to the settler. My charisma is maxed out, so I could just tell them to go away and no one needs to get hurt. Really nice and quick. Once I did that at this dusty, really cool farm, I unlocked the 71st achievement, Home Sweet Home. Now before continuing on, because I finished 3 raider settlements here, when I talked to Shank, he'll tell me how the bloody raiders were revolting back in Nuka-World because I haven't given them anything. Womp womp. Maybe next time have your stupid leader actually talk to me instead of saying they're busy. I made a save because I'm going to ruin every single settlement on the map except for Sanctuary. And I don't want that to be canon. I don't like raiders. So I made a hard save before I continue on. I just need to go to 5 other settlements and convince them to leave and then put down some raider flags. Was all easy. My talking did all the work every single time. Then with the last settlement, that was 8 out of 8 and I unlocked the 72nd achievement, Hostile Takeover. Then immediately I just loaded back into that hard save. Now talking to Shank again, he tells me how the bloody raiders got all butthurt that I haven't been doing anything for them. What a shocker, since their leader is glitched out and I could never talk to her at all. The Blood Raiders leader, Nisha, is mad about not getting anything from me, and the other gangs have gotten stronger. So she went AWOL and took over the nuclear plant. I have to go over there and meet up with the other gang leaders and handle her. We began running up the super long driveway and I got to shooting. Some guards out front and then we went into the power plant building. Luckily for me, these 3 somehow knew Nisha's exact location, so all I had to do really was loot and follow. After making it through the building, we made our way up onto the roof and there she is. With some other bloody raiders too. I took them out and then took out Nisha. The 3rd raider gang is now gone. I looted her body and I got the key to the button to start up the power plant. Did so and then watched the distance. All of the parks of Nuka-World began shooting off fireworks. It was kind of a cool sight to see. And to also see the electricity turn back on and see the buildings get lit up. Definitely wish I did this at night though. I feel like it would have been a lot better. Once I was done watching, I returned to the parks and found Gage. He said he is happy he picked me to be the boss. Nuka-World is doing amazing and we should go back to the Commonwealth and do more evil deeds, which I won't do. I don't like raiders. I'm sorry. Then I unlocked the 73rd achievement, Power Play. Just 1 more to go and then we're done with Nuka-World DLC. This one, well, I have mixed feelings on it. It's bad, like, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's as bad as others are making it out to be. I need to get 100,000 Nuka-Cade tickets, which is a lot, don't get me wrong. Just playing the DLC and being a semi-loot goblin, I did manage to get 6,969 tickets. Stop laughing. I know there's a glitch way to do this with a basketball machine at a settlement and then glitching multiple of them inside of each other, blah blah blah. I really don't care to go and do all of that and learn how to do it. So instead, I just went the My Green creating route and swinging my mouse up and down non-stop. Sure, it's annoying to look at, but I get a pretty stupid amount of tickets doing this. Genuinely think it took me like 30 minutes to do so. And then once I had those, I just went to the center console and put my tickets in. After a lot of clicking, I unlocked the 74th achievement and final achievement to the Nuka-World DLC, Eyes on the Prize. And now for our final DLC and achievement hunt, the Far Harbor DLC, which I'm very much so looking forward to doing. So I traveled to Diamond City as I already had the Far From Home quest. This is how you start the Far Harbor DLC. And I went to Valentine's detective office. I talked to Ellie and she told me about this couple up north who are panicking and needed me to come to them immediately. I teleported nearby their location. I said hello to a few of the locals here and I finally made my way to their house. It's a cute place and honestly, I'd live here if I lived in the Fallout universe. The parents were panicking over a radio station that I'm assuming their daughter made contact with. Talking to the parents, they told me about their daughter and how she talked to someone over the radio and then disappeared recently. They didn't really have much info, but I talked to the wife and she told me how all three of them have been fighting ever since the grandfather died. Then the daughter has been in the boathouse for a lot of nights just working on a radio, since her and the grandfather would work on electronics together all the time. So I headed over to the boathouse and I snooped around. I found the grandfather's notes and then went to the picture on the desk. I clicked on it and I found a hidden key. I opened up the safe and listened to the daughter's holotape. The daughter is talking about how she made contact with someone far north. They said they're a synth that escaped from the Institute. This is now very awkward as I'm the owner of the Institute. The daughter then talks about how she's been feeling weird lately and out of place. Like she doesn't belong here. I immediately catch that and wonder if she's a synth. It makes sense, so the daughter left home, stole the family boat, and went to Far Harbor. I returned to the parents and told them what I found. I then asked them if she's a synth. They both scream, no, she's not. The mom gave birth to her, and think she's confused, as most parents do. I tell them she ran away to Far Harbor, and then the dad gives me the grandfather's boat and begs me to go save her. Obviously I will, as I need 10 more achievements. So, I headed over to the boat, I said hi to the cat. Don't worry, I reloaded, delete that hate comment, I'm sorry, I was just curious. I made it onto the boat and I was shocked. I'm not sure why I was, but the boat moves. I figured we'd just instantly teleport, but no. The boat actually moves and drives, so this is sick. And then once the loading screen was gone, oh my goodness. Dave, I already love this DLC. Somehow, with this game being out for like 10 years, I've never seen anything for the Far Harbor DLC. I'm stunned. I love the sky, the darkness, the fog, the island, the trees, how the buildings look, the lights, the ships. Genuinely, I'm actually in love with this DLC. I haven't seen anything yet, and I can already tell that Bethesda poured so much love into this DLC. Glazing aside, once I made it to the dock, I got a nice warm welcome. I first unlocked the 75th achievement, Far From Home. And then Triggerfingers on the right doesn't like me as I'm new here, but the old lady seems kind. We were talking, and I was about to explain why I'm here. Apparently, they don't get many visitors out here, but then the alarm went off, and apparently some monsters were coming to attack the town. The old lady asked me to help them out, and we ran to the wall. I felt like I was in Attack on Titans as the monsters took a bit, but they finally came. Not like that. They're big boys though, and they didn't get too close, so I couldn't get a good look at them. But apparently I need to kill 30 of these for an achievement, so I got to shooting. There's some citizens down below, and they wouldn't open the gate for them. I think one of them died, but I tried to keep everyone alive. Once the hordes were done, the old lady talked to me and told me this was common around here. Then Triggerfingers from before chimed in and said it was the children of Adam who came here and are making the fog all bad like it currently is. If it's the same children of Adam from the glowing sea that I met before, when I was looking for the runaway scientist from the Institute who's a super mutant, yeah, those children of Adam. I kind of agree with the guy. They need to die and get off the island. The old lady, however, disagrees, but that convo ended there. I told her how I'm looking for the daughter back at the dock when we first met. And now that I helped out the town, she told me of someone who can help me find where she's located. As this old lady somehow knows exactly where she is, she also asked me to help out the others in town. And I gotta be honest, Dave, even if these aren't for an achievement, I'm doing them. This DLC makes me want to do everything. So first off, I went over to the guide who's going to be showing me where the daughter is. But before talking to him, I picked up the first collectible, the almanac, which there's 5 total, and then I left and I talked to the other 2 optional people. This person talks about how the island killed her family and how her brother died to some ghouls in a specific location. No problem, I'll go deal with them. And then this person asked me to go get some power tools to repair the walls around this town. It's on the other side of the island, but again, no problem. I'll just do these later. Then I went back to the old man in the bar and asked him if he'd guide me to the location where the daughter is at. He said no at first, but then I told him I'm Skies, and then his attitude immediately changed. Now he'll help me out and get me there. Apparently, it's going to be a tough journey. I'll laugh at that as I'm a literal walking god in this game. I'll be surprised if something kills me here. The journey was long with Mr. Oldman. It was a typical follow quest, but after some fighting spots, we reached one of the children of Adam. She tried to convince me to not go to Acadia, which is where the synths are and the daughter. That'll be very interesting in a little bit. And I heard her out for a little bit, but I said no to joining the children of Adam. But I did agree to give her a bullet to the back of her head. I'm sorry, I just can't support anyone or anything that thinks thinks that taking on radiation damage and then in time turning into ghouls is a good thing, they gotta go. We then made it to Acadia, and the old man, which I actually really love his character and how he looks, he offered to be my companion, but since I need to kill specifically those salamander enemies 30 times, I said no. He also said I can live in a shack, meaning I got a workbench unlocked, which is amazing, as I need to unlock 3 of those here for an achievement. And then he left. I went into Acadia, and the synth named Dima came over and talked to me. It almost seemed like he was expecting me. He has a super cool and sick design, and he told me the daughter is here and she's safe. He just helped her realize that she's a synth. Then he tries to do the same thing to me. Personally, I can see a 50% chance that I am one, but I decided to not continue that part of the convo as I was worried it would lead to something bad or possibly locking me from some achievements. He let me go and told me the daughter is on the bottom floor. I headed down the stairs, but I stopped at the middle floor and went to the bartender trader guy thing. Right here on the counter, the second almanac. After that was collected, I went to the bottom floor. I headed to the right and went to the daughter. Funny enough, we barely talked about her parents and me coming here to bring her home. She said that since she's a synth, those aren't her parents. And she knew the conversation would go badly if she talked things out with them. So she left. Of course, that's rough, and if I were a parent, I'd absolutely hate that, but seeing it from an outsider standpoint, it makes sense. I don't blame her. If I found out I was a synth, I'd also be terrified and so confused. I'd want answers too. And if someone over the phone or something was talking to me and had the answers to my questions, I'd go too. We stopped talking about her family, and she talked about Dima. Apparently, one of the times she was up there helping out with his computer system that he's hooked up to, she saw one of his memory files. There was some terrifying stuff on there. Something about number of deaths, nukes, the island, the Far Harbor inhabitants, the children of Adam. It was looking bad, like Dima was going to kill everyone. So she wanted me to go and check them out. See if I could find out if what she saw was real. If Dima is a bad person or something. And I had multiple choices on how to do this. I chose the fun option, where I lockpicked my way into a storage room and listened in on Dima and his 2 co-workers. It sounded messy and drama-y. So obviously I'd want to do it. So I did just that. I waited next to the window and listened in. I'm sorry, I'm bad with remembering names. So Dima was talking to some girl who looks military. She was all angry and saying, "How could you not tell us about your memory bank in the submarine base that you let the children of Adam take over?" And you know what? I'm on her side. Why would you let a psychotic cult into a place that has your past memories, even though you don't know what those memories are because computers cannot access data without the data being connected to them? And how could you give such a powerful place to a psychotic cult? The scientist guy was coming up with a plan to help the military girl sneak into the submarine base to take Dima's memories back. Big issue though. The 3 parties, the synth group, the Far Harbor inhabitants back at the dock, and the children of Adam are all on the verge of war. If someone does something to another group, it's over. So Dima is scared of the military woman being seen or doing something at the submarine base. But they need to get those memories back before the children of Adam get to them. Luckily, there's security to reach the files, but it may only be a matter of time till they reach the memories. And yeah, that was like the gist of what they were talking about. It's all serious and bad. And I'm so incredibly locked in on this DLC. With that new knowledge found out, I went up top and talked to Dima. I told him I know everything that's going on. He was surprised I found out about this stuff. Didn't ask how I found out, but he asked for my help. Since I know what's at stake and I'm new here, so I'm not associated with any group and won't start a war if I get caught. They've massive issue here. Dima told me to not hurt any of them. He doesn't want any bloodshed, plus it could lead to a war. I domed one of them in the back of the head coming up here, but my character didn't think to mention that, so I'm sure it means nothing. I'm sure we're all fine. I then returned to the daughter and told her everything. She also said some good points that I agree with. If Dima is telling the truth on everything, why would he leave the important memories behind? What if those memories lead to our deaths? What if those memories make Dima violent and nuke us all? She basically just said to question Dima still and see if he's telling us everything. I feel like he's hiding something very, very important. She said to go to the submarine base and find out stuff. She's going to keep an eye on Dima here. And I unlocked the 76th achievement, Where You Belong, when I finished talking to her. We're now 90% done with the game. Now I'm going to focus on the old lady's questline, mainly because I feel bad for her, but also because she'll help me unlock a lot of stuff I need. First off, need to go kill some ghouls to avenge, I believe it was her brother that died to them? I'm not too sure, but I'm sorry. On the way to the ghoul location, I took my time and kept on going to every single location I could along the way there. Then I made it to the spot and I got to shooting. It was simple, just a few ghouls. I returned to her, she said thanks, and then told me about how her grandpa died to some fish monster. Okay, so everyone loved the grandpa. It was a sad day for the island when he died. So she wants me to go to her family's farm and kill the monster. Before making it there though, I found my way to some Central Park spot. There's a gift store here, and if you go into it, right on the checkout counter, I'm assuming, is the third almanac. Lovely. Just 2 more to get. Then I made it to the family farm. This thing definitely looks like a beast. I'm pretty sure it's a mutated Mirelurk queen, and so I got to chucking. I didn't feel like spending ammo on this thing as I figured that it's tanky, so I just threw a lot of grenades. With that thing dead, I returned to the old lady and she said thank you. She also gave me the farm. There's a workbench there, I believe, so that should be spot 2 of 3 for the achievement. However, we're not done yet. She talked about her late husband, my condolences, and how the island inhabitants loved him too. He was the island's best fisher and had a favorite spot, the lighthouse. However, one day when he and his crew went there to go fishing, some trappers were there. The leader there then shot the poor husband between the eyes just for fun, like he was just doing target practice. So obviously, his wife is incredibly angry at him and wants him to die. Yeah, I'd do this quest just for the fun of it. I don't even need caps or an achievement. So, this may surprise you, but the location for this quest was also insanely freaking far away. Making it to the lighthouse spot, I made sure to kill every single trapper down here. Then, once the ground floor and building were cleared out, I made my way to the lighthouse. I went up the stairs and I got to shooting. I killed the leader and avenged the old lady's late husband. May he rest in peace. Just like how I'm going to go in late for a peaceful time with the trapper's hidden chest. I don't know, I'm sorry. Firstly, there's the 4th almanac up here, and then there's a note up here, and in the bathtub, a key to the hidden chest. The note says how the trapper doesn't trust his men, since they're looting his loot. So he put some stuff in a chest and dropped it in one of the nets on the dock. So I went over there and, well, it sure ain't bad loot. With that looted and everything done over here for now, I returned to the old lady and she was finally happy and at peace. I expected her to just drop dead on the spot with how she was talking, but she was grateful that I avenged all of her family members. Now completing her questline, and I believe that also finished up one of the other questlines that I have, but I'm not doing that one yet. I need to go and get the 5th and final almanac. I returned to the lighthouse I was just at, and I went north. There's a quarry nearby, and things will be getting silly. I took out some Mirelurks and sniped some trappers. I fought my way into this tiny little building and then noticed a fun button. I like pressing buttons, and apparently this button loves to be pressed. Boom boom chicken doom, the entire quarry just starts exploding. Then some trappers came to check out the noise. Not sure why, it's totally silent around here. And then a Mirelurk queen spawned in, so I got to shooting. From there, I went over and entered the internal quarry section and may have forgotten to unpause my recording device again. So, my bad. I just took out some trappers in here, and then if you head all the way up into the back of this shack is the 5th and final almanac. Love how easy and simple all of these were to find. And now, we're on our final section of the game. Basically, just some fun quests remaining. So, before we can begin one of the quests for an achievement, I need to complete some other small quests that I've picked up. I have a side quest to get some power tools for the, I guess, handy woman of Far Harbor? I'm not sure what her job is, but she repairs things there. She wants to repair the walls of the town, so I need to head into this factory. Why is there a ghoul on the lake floor? Anyways, I entered the place, I cleared out some ghouls, and then in the basement are her power tools. Up next, I think she's the mayor of Far Harbor. The town has fog condensers around the outskirts of town. Someone went out when I first arrived, and we got attacked, so he might be dead. I need to head out there, find the guy who didn't make it. He's dead with some Mirelurks just eating away, so poor guy. And then I need to take his tools and go repair the 3 fog condensers. I need to do this because apparently these fog condensers actually create water from, you know, all of the fog, and the town is running dangerously low on it. Once that was all finished, I then returned to the mayor and finished the side quests that I needed to begin the next big one. I talked to the creepy doctor. Not sure why this is a quest, but apparently I need to make the people of Far Harbor like me. And to do that, I need to go to some lake on the other side of the island and put some meat in the water. Then wait for something to appear and kill it. That'll, for some reason, prove to the people here that I belong. I teleported to the closest location and I got to running. Very luckily for me, while I was running to the quest spot, I kept on discovering more locations and I unlocked the 78th achievement, New England Vacationer. Now I don't need to worry about discovering every single location that I spot on my radar. I ran to the spot where the creepy doctor told me to go to. I may or may not have just killed an innocent man that I didn't know was innocent. You know, God forbid I don't check the name of every single person out here. Right next to his dead body was the quest spot. So I just had to drop 1 meat in the water. Mirelurk spawned in and I killed those. I dropped another meat into the water and get that. More Mirelurk spawned in. Once I killed those guys, the queen spawned in and I got to shooting. She's a legendary one and she even mutated, dropping, if my memory serves correctly, a very strong and nice rifle. I then returned to Far Harbor. The small town gathered around the dock and he told me how everyone accepts me now. Lovely. The next quest I do now will unlock our 3rd settlement here and another achievement. So, I have to talk to 2 people. This little kid who wants me to help out the settlers here, saying that if they don't move, they're going to die out, and she seems to care a ton about the people here. Funny enough, she offered me 14 caps for this mission. She wants me to go to some lumber mill and clear it out of enemies. That way, we can make a settlement there, which would also be my 3rd settlement. The other person is some stereotypical Italian man in a bar. I thought I was talking to Darman for a quick second and then came back to reality. This dude here is too prideful to ask for help. His sister, girlfriend, mom, all 3 asked for him. Apparently, they have an uncle somewhere on this island and he hasn't responded to them in a while. They're worried about him, so I need to go and check on him. I believe this also unlocks a settlement for me, but I feel more inclined to help the kid out, so I'm going to the lumber mill, which this one was just confusing. There was no waypoint at all, and I couldn't really find enemies. That was until I went into the lumber mill and went upstairs. A few ghouls. I killed them, and then had to return to the kid to tell her I cleared the place out. That was until I got startled by some weird dude in here. I thought it was a trapper, but didn't shoot him immediately. Talking to him, I don't like him. He's clearly insane. And then I found out that he's a cannibal. He thinks this place is his, and he doesn't want to share. After refusing my offer of being kind and sharing the place with settlers, he then tells me to bring people here and let him kill them, cut them up and eat them, steal their loot. And I'm like, buddy, there's only so much room for someone on this island to kill everyone and loot them. I mean, I don't eat people. I'm not a cannibal. Why are you not believing me, Dave? I said no to the guy and I got to shooting. I guess he didn't realize that I'm the final boss. So I returned to the Far Harbor and I told the kid I cleared the place out. Then we talked to the mayor and the creepy doctor. They both want my help in securing the land there and setting up a real settlement. The mayor also worries about the children of Adam ruining the place and starting a war. Pretty soon we'll have to go check those people out and hopefully kill them. I then unlock the 79th achievement right there. Push back the fog. And since I'm in town, there's a cooking station right here. So I went and made some poached angler, which unlocked the 80th achievement. Just add salt water. Now, I have an uncle to find. I've luckily been to his place before, and I was expecting a dead uncle, not a crazy uncle who's strong and has dead bodies around his place. This dude is absolutely hilarious. I love his character and personality. He immediately wanted me to leave, then calm down. Then got happy with me. Then started to scream at me because trappers were coming, and he said it was my fault. I then unlocked this place as a settlement and got to placing down turrets, which this stupid spot had a landmine or something and blew up my turret. Nice. It was just 2 waves of trappers. We both handled them all, and then the old man was happy with me, except he then told me to leave. That was until I told him to go back to his nephew. I had to convince him twice, since it isn't safe here, and then he finally returned. The nephew and uncle were happy. Thank God. And that was the end of this questline. But, that was about to change when the Fire Nation attacked. So, Dave, sit down. I'd be surprised if you weren't, or continue laying, get a snack. drink some water, subscribe to the channel. Oh boy, Dave. Okay, so I need to hack Dima's memories. I need to find out what he purposely forgot. I need to get those before the children of Adam do. Spoiler, it's heavily important I do before the Adam freaks do. I headed to the base of the Adam cult. There was 2 cultists out front with 3 armed guards staring at them and then giving them 2 outcomes. Before they could plead for a peaceful outcome, the girl on the right absolutely beamed this dude and made him fly. Was honestly kind of funny. Then I talked to the psycho leader. He didn't trust me at first. I had to convince him I'm new to the island and that I'm here to join them. He then tells me to go drink some radiated water from a little waterfall nearby. Yummy. Once I did that, I had to follow this girl shadow figure thing, who led me all the way to this Children of Adam spot. So many ghouls outside, so I'm guessing these are all the people who tried to join the cult, but took on way too much radiation here and turned. So I got to shooting. I then went into the building. I found the password on the side of the lockers and opened the security door. Inside was a cool statue thing. I yoinked it and returned to the psycho leader. He was stunned. I guess they've been trying to get this statue back for a while, but never succeeded. He was also incredibly surprised and stunned that I saw the shadow figure. Apparently this is the mother of Adam or something, but you know, so apparently I'm a special person because I saw her. What a shocker. The main character is special. He then allowed me to join the Children of Adam. Dope. I then went inside and found a way up to the top. This is when everything went wrong, and not for the reasons you think. So hush up, Daniel, just watch the movie. I ignored this Adam cultist and went inside the room. I disabled these traps, I shot some turrets, I killed some robots, I obliterated some other robots, and then I came to this room. I opened the security door and, I can't get this computer to turn on. The power isn't on and the waypoint isn't showing me anything else. Just this computer. Okay, so I looked around a lot, insanely thoroughly. I never found out what to do next. Okay, so maybe I was supposed to talk to that Adam cultist at the door. So I ran all the way back there and I talked to her. No, she was basically just saying I'm weak and this area is too strong for me. Awkward, since I already cleared it out. Okay, so I went back in. I destroyed the entrance turrets this time since I didn't trigger them the first time I was in here. And then I looked over every single square inch of this place. I went down pointless hallways, into a pointless kitchen. I went into bedrooms, everything. Maybe it's something here in the final room with the computer. Oh, it's this insanely unobvious power switch that has no indication that it has a function. Okay, so I flipped it on and the power turned on. Now I can use the computer. Lovely is what I would have said if the next sequence was lovely. I don't mind games like this. I can actually enjoy them when I'm in the mood for them. I'm in the mood for Fallout right now. Not brainy smart think games with puzzles, but that's besides the point. The first 4 levels were super easy and I basically speed ran them. That's not a joke or sarcasm, like they're genuinely that easy. Then the 5th level. I feel like a boomer with 3 left hands playing Minecraft. This is awful for me. I know you guys expect me to complain and say it's so confusing and hard. It really wasn't. I completed like 90% of it, but got stuck at the end and had to remove the last red box border thing. So that got me for a while. But yeah, then I finally completed it. Here's the TLDR of this entire puzzle sequence. So Dima doesn't trust the people of the island or something, especially the stupid Adam cult. He knows of nukes from the war are on this island, where to get them, and how to blow them up, killing all of the humans. Dima is Nick Valentine's brother. Nick doesn't trust or know Dima apparently, so they have a fight. Maybe that's how Nick and Dima look so messed up. There's some military codes for nukes or something. I get the codes, hacking sequence over. Lovely. I finally have Dima's memory, and that's why we need to get it before the Adam cult. They would absolutely set off the nukes. Oh, and slight rewind on the recording timeline here. I'm killing the cult. When I was coming back to the Adam cult lady at the door, I overheard some of them talking about killing everyone who isn't an Adam cultist and how they're violent. So yeah, they're gonna go bye-bye. So with the Dima's memories about the nukes and how to get the codes on us now, it's time we go and hunt down everything. I'm trying to learn what's going on at this point, but that computer section really messed me up. But I do believe we're trying to figure out all of his past memories, who he is as a person, and if we can trust him. So first up is Vim's factory, which is just the competitor to Nuka-Cola, I believe. Lots of super mutants guarding this place. And funny thing, Dave, I almost never use automatic weapons in any Fallout game. I don't know why. I just always use pistols or bolt action rifles. I decided to try out this assault rifle and My goodness, I'm in love. I don't have to click so much, and this thing just shreds. So it made it super easy to get through this entire factory. So after some fighting, I made it to an elevator. Going down, this is when things get a bit insane. Makes me trust Dima a lot less. I made it into his secret medical bay. I dug up the coffin of one of his victims, Avery. Captain Avery, the old lady back at Far Harbor that we first met when arriving here. It sounded like Dima murdered Avery and was talking to a synth about becoming Avery. A lot of creepy and strange info came from this place. I then talked to this AI door thing. I told it to let me in as no one else is ever going to come along. I won that charisma check, and I believe this is the area where Dima did his messed up surgeries. Well, time to leave the factory and go to the other two spots that I need to hit up about Dima. So I hacked his terminal, which I thought would let me outside. No. Here's a big boy right here with a unique name, and it actually surprised me a bit, so I very quickly killed it. So yeah, that wasn't the exit, but I did manage to find one of them to lead me outside. This is when the quest updated, and now I don't need to go to 3 different locations. I can either confront Dima or tell Far Harbor about what Dima did. I chose to confront Dima as I didn't want to enrage Far Harbor and get an evil ending or have a huge fight break out. Making it to Dima, I first talked about entering the Atom Cult. I told him about the nuke he knew how to set off. He then said it's the submarine and that it's rusted over, so the only location that the nuke could hit is itself. It can't launch out. Now he wants to protect the Atom Cult and make sure that they don't set it off. I told him otherwise. I think we should set it off and kill the Atom Cult. They're psychopaths, and they literally pray about being violent and slaughtering everyone outside of the cult. It was a skill check, but I got Dima to agree with me. Now, onto the more pressing matters that I'm sure you're eager to hear more of. I told Dima about Avery and what he did. He was stunned. He genuinely sounded and looked crushed that he killed a human and a synth. Because when a synth will go and take over a human's position and pretend to be them, they have to wipe their memory and forget who they currently are, so basically killing a synth. He then said he needed more control over Far Harbor. He needed them to calm down and not be so war-torn. So it makes sense that Avery was so against that one soldier guy from when we first arrived. She was so against him being violent to the Atom Cult. I decided to side with Dima here, as it sounds like he's the only person for a peaceful / good ending. I just want things to be peaceful between Far Harbor and Acadia. Acadia is the location of the synths here, but I want to destroy the Atom Cult. He then tells me some plan about getting the leader of the Atom Cult alone in a room with myself. Dima wants me to kill the Atom Cult leader so he can replace that person with a synth. Maybe this can work out. Maybe we can get both of the endings that we want. Sort of. Once I was done talking to Dima, I unlocked the 81st achievement, The Way Life Should Be. This is where I noticed that I messed up, and I even figured that I would mess up somehow. And given how we're near the end of this game and movie, I didn't want to mess up and have to replay the entire DLC or something. So I got the peaceful ending to Far Harbor, which isn't bad, but it prevents me from getting one other achievement, Cleansing the Land, which I don't have that quest. So if I continue forward now, I won't get that achievement and we'll have to replay the entire DLC. So I reloaded back to when I just finished the hacking computer sequence. This time, instead of going to the one location I had discovered already, I ran to the northwest and I made it to a small island. Here, there's a secret cache from Dima with some wind turbine codes. This unlocks the Cleansing the Land quest. Perfect. But still, before going to Dima, I went to another location where I can learn the nuclear codes. I want this because I want to destroy the Atom Cult. Going through this building, I came upon a secret room with a sad story. This soldier, or I guess general, is the general of the submarine. He's hiding in this hotel room and waiting for his lover because he doesn't want to set off nukes. He doesn't want to destroy the world. Nice, I support him. He then calls his lover to come to the hotel and plays with her to do so. He wants to spend his last moments alive with her. Once I got all that info and left the hotel, I had to get away so I could teleport to where the nuclear codes are. Then I encountered the 30th Far Harbor monster. Specifically, it has to be the salamander guys, and I unlocked that one achievement that I thought would take me hours. Hooked. Now for the nuclear codes. I had to find my way over to its location. There's so many Mirelurks. But it was funny enough, just sitting in a chest on a boat that sank right on the shore, like super easy to find and get to. Kind of surprised no one found it over the past 220 years, but yeah, now I have the nuclear code and everything I could need to destroy the Atom Cult. I returned to Dima after that and talked to him again, telling him the stuff I found and that we should destroy the Atom Cult. This time, however, since I found the codes and stuff, we can go about this not so nicely. Dima wanted me to go there and talk to their, I guess I would call him a priest? Dima wants me to go and convince that guy that the Atom Cult should set off the nuke and welcome their Atom God, killing them all. Which, I mean, sure, why not? I'll genuinely give it a try, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If I get them to die by a nuke from their own hands, or if I set off a nuke without them agreeing to it or knowing it, it's the same outcome. Any outsiders won't know the difference unless I tell them it. Does that make me a bad guy? I don't know, but it sure does make the mission go faster when I talk to this psychopath for like 10 minutes, and for the life of me, I cannot get this stupid quest topic to start. So I just decided, screw it, I'll set off the nuke and force them to enjoy their destructive death. Now, here's the weird part. These guys are posers, every single one of them. As I'm setting off the nuke, they instantly get mad at me. It's like going to a Christian or Catholic church and screaming out, "Screw Satan," and then getting kicked out. Like, my bad, I thought we hated the guy. Like, why are these dweebs getting mad that I'm sending them off to see their god? They literally worship the atom and radiation. Why are you guys mad about getting the ultimate ending for your beliefs? Anyways, I ran outside and watched the explosion. While that was going on, I killed the guys out front and looted their stuff. I also unlocked the 83rd achievement, Cleansing the Land. Just one more to go, Dave. Oh my goodness. I went and talked to Dima. He congratulated me for finishing off the Atom Cult, and that was basically it. Now for the final quest. It's finishing the daughter's story. I then went and talked to Kasumi. For some odd reason, she was mad about me killing the Atom Cult. Gee, my bad for killing the terrorist homegirl? So sorry. Once that topic was done, we talked about her returning home or staying here in Acadia. Gotta be real, Dave, I don't think Kasumi is a synth anymore. She's 18 or 19, so I think she's just confused. I think she's gullible, and the placebo effect has her in a chokehold. I think she just wanted adventure from her quiet, boring life, and this sounded exciting and believable for her. So I told her to return home to her parents. She agreed. Returning back to her family's house, her parents welcomed her back warmly. Her mom told her she's not a synth, and Kasumi actually agreed to it, which, again, I don't think she's a synth. I'm sorry. The dad then thanked me for saving his daughter and gave me the secret chest of his father, who was an explorer with some loot. That's when I unlocked the final achievement, achievement number 84. Close to home. I then went over to the grandfather's secret chest and looted it. Loot, like, it's really not good. But anyways, Dave, this has been such an incredible journey. This video took me over 3 weeks to record. I knew a little bit about Fallout 4 from playing it here and there, but I never dived in deep. I always got distracted with something else, and then I stopped playing this. I never made it past the beginning, really, and my goodness, I can say, I think this is my favorite Fallout game. The main story is okay, but like, it's nothing strong, it ain't the best, but I love the world. I love the look and design of everything. The small, silly, and fun characters you can meet and learn about. The guns, armor, and power armor customization. The companions. I genuinely enjoyed this game a ton. Minus the stupid hacking computer part in the Far Harbor DLC, which I gotta say, I think that was the only DLC I truly enjoyed completely. I'd give Fallout 4 a 9.9. It would have been a 10 if it wasn't for that one hacking part, but honestly, if you guys had to choose what DLC to play, I'd highly recommend Far Harbor. I truly hope that you guys enjoyed this movie. It took hundreds of hours between me and Darman, and it genuinely would mean a lot to me if you guys subscribe. It helps me out tremendously to make more videos like this one, and if you guys want it, I'll go play 100% of Fallout 76. I'm itching to see if that Fallout can beat this Fallout as my favorite Fallout game. I hope you guys are enjoying the Fallout Season 2 TV show as well. It's what inspired me to play 100% of each Fallout game. Anyways, it's so weird to be done with this game, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. See ya!
It's the war. War never changes.